Hey everyone, this is DougMPA starting the stream here, making sure everything works. My clock on my computer is a little bit behind the one on my phone, so this may be starting a little early. This is going to be my presentation of American MGTOW 2, the Mandem's voice, China. He lives in the UK. He's a prominent voice in the red pill space, up and coming. I've been rocking with him since he first started. He started on just pearly things, and he's created his own following. He goes live on Instagram. He has a YouTube channel. My name is China, so go over there and give him a follow. Before I first heard of China, I moderate just pearly things as chat, and he was on there, and he was just bodying women. He was showing a strong masculine frame. He's Cameroonian, so he has strong traditional values. He's an accomplished black man in the UK. He wants to be married, wants to have children, comes from a good family. And so I think that we need more people like him in the space. So I was talking to him the other day, and he had never heard of MGTOW. Now, MGTOW, if you're not familiar, means men go their own way. And like most, he thought that MGTOWs were all incels and losers and weren't getting laid. And yeah, that's a common misconception. So I'm here to give him the basics of MGTOW. I have a whole presentation ready. We're gonna go old school PowerPoint style up in here. I know you haven't seen PowerPoint since school, but that's what we're gonna do up in here. Give me 1 second. Why is this? So I'm gonna drop the link and let China in, and we're gonna start with just him and I while I go over the basics. I see Jason's in the chat. I see MGTOW Biologic. What's going on, my friend? And Naomi. I'm gonna let Naomi up first after I give China a basic rundown. So I'm gonna drop the link, but I'm only gonna let China in for now. Okay, so let me drop the link in the chat here. Oh, did the link drop in there? Let me try it again. Copy. Okay, let me try dropping it again. Did it go? Hold on. Let me drop it the old-fashioned way. Your channel live. Oh yeah. Okay. So China, come on up. Oh yeah. Hey Jason, if you want to send the link to this out, go right ahead. I'm not. That'd be great. So I'm just gonna wait for China to hop on, and then I want him to get his um give him his first. I want him to give us his first impressions of MGTOW, and then I want to have after I go over the basics. I want to let Naomi come up because she's another up and coming voice in the UK, and a she's a great woman to talk to. She's been on Pearl's show. I think she's been on King Rich's show, and it would be good to hear her opinion on it. So, uh, just waiting for China to get here. So, but in the chat, make sure to let everyone in the chat start by just saying your experience with MGTOW. Have you been MGTOW? Because I think that MGTOW is a status that you can go into and you can leave. A lot of people think that MGTOW is a lifelong thing. I don't think so. I think that all guys up until 35, before they think about, you shouldn't think about marriage until you're 35. And MGTOW, especially in the United States, is the only way right now. It's the only way. You have to you have to stick to your guns, avoid serious relationships with women until you have enough, until you've built yourself enough up enough, and you have enough leverage to demand the respect that you want from women. All right, here is China right here. Yo,
Yo,
my
what's
friend.
going on? What's
Good to
going on,
see
my man? You
you.
good, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
We finally here. Let me turn my sound down over here. You know what was happening? It blocked my browser blocked it from coming on, but then I used was it Chrome or something, and then it happened. It worked.
oh, I was about to say, dang man, I see how it is. If you didn't want to talk to me, I mean, not.
Nah. This is my StreamYard education right now. This is my StreamYard education right
So,
now. So
so once again, um, I kind of gave a little preview of you before you came on. You know, I've been rocking with you since day one, since you were on just for early things to show. I gave a little bit of a preview. You and I were talking about MGTOW, and you didn't know about it, and then you kind of had a negative view on it at first, right?
yeah, like I think. Because when I first heard about it, they're like men going their own way. I was like, what do you mean men going their own way? They're like, yeah, not dealing with women anymore and just like going their own way. I was like, so what are you telling me? Bunch of men on the island with no women at all? And I'm like, nah. This doesn't sound like something I want to do. This sounds like jail.
So,
Like,
so what got you curious about wanting to know? Because I think you had a couple of callers, some of these strong, independent women calling into your show, and it kind of sparked your interest, right?
yeah, like, and also I've because people keep bringing it up, and whenever people keep bringing stuff up in podcasts and stuff, I'll definitely check it out so I know what I'm speaking about. But I just didn't. I just didn't understand it really, because I find it was too extreme. Like you don't, it's a bit too extreme. You can be on your purpose, but you don't necessarily have to be like, I don't want to deal with women. I'm like, what do you want to do? Start dealing with men? It's a bit, it's a bit. You know
A
what I mean?
common misconception, my friend. So,
Mm,
and then one thing that I've noticed talking to you, Auntie Jenny, and a couple of other UK content creators is it's different over here in the US. You know, I see
mm,
Jason, MGTOW by Logic, a couple of others. We can all attest if you, especially if you're a successful, accomplished man, it's a war
mm,
zone over here.
mm.
So, with that being said, so hopefully this will kind of educate you as to MGTOW, and we're gonna do this old school, you know, college PowerPoint style because
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that up right now. I'm gonna
Yeah,
share my screen.
I'm just quickly just clipping what we're doing now. I'm gonna just post it on Instagram quickly, post the link up, just let everyone know what's going on right now. Um, Give me 1 second. Uh, Doug, do you get men going their own way? Men, oh, I like it this. Oh, I just raised. Okay. Now we're in session right now.
Let's
Um,
go.
Wait, hold on. Let me just quickly just post this. What's going on right now? Because I'm really, Doug. I'm really liking what we're doing right now. I'm just going. I'm going to keep it. Go keep it 100. I'm really liking what we're doing right now. Doug, do you
So
even repost this? Do you even, when I tag you, do you repost it? Should I tag you on Instagram? Do you
uh,
repost it?
uh, go ahead and tag me. You know, I don't. I need to
You
get
don't
a
repost.
DougMPA. No, I need to get
Yeah,
a
you need to because I
DougMPA
thought.
Instagram because
Yeah,
that's my personal one, and it's only
yeah,
now that I'm starting to like get out here with my actual voice. So
yeah.
I might have to start a business Instagram with Doug MPA because I have a couple of personal friends who aren't really into. Give me one second.
Yeah,
Hold on one second.
that's fine.
Sorry about that. I
Yeah,
thought
that's cool.
I had muted all my phones and iPads and everything, but I guess not.
Yeah. No, don't worry about the tag. I just because I was like, this guy never reposts. So I don't repost. And I'm like,
Well,
wait, you probably got a lot of legitimate people on there that they can be
yeah,
seeing.
bro.
I know how
Yeah.
it goes.
In fact, most of the time I don't show my face on my channel, but for you, I mean, you're the Mandem's voice.
Come
So,
on, man. I
out of
appreciate that, man.
respect, so just a little bit about me, I'm DougMPA. Um, the MPA stands for Master of Public Administration and Policy. I have 2 policy degrees, so I'm all about stats, all about research. I'm accomplished, not married, no children. So I think I've done enough to kind of speak on this topic here. Let me know when you're ready to get through this education, my friend.
Doug, wait, I can't. Do I not see the chat on my side? Do I not? Do we not see the chat?
Uh, I don't.
No, I don't think
I,
so. I think I see it through the other.
yeah, you have to have. You're talking about the chat on YouTube.
Yeah,
So yeah, so it streams through StreamYard, but then you
yeah.
still have to look at YouTube also.
But how would you look on YouTube if you're in StreamYard? You'd have to have a separate app
Yeah,
or a separate
on your
device like
laptop.
this. Yeah, okay,
Uh,
I see, I see.
yeah, so I have multiple screens,
Okay,
but
oh,
but
cool.
I think you can go to YouTube and StreamYard will stay open.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, let's go. All right, no worries, I'm ready to
All
go.
right. So MGTOW, it stands for Men Going Their Own Way, and this is just a basic. Okay. Um, I like to put a disclaimer. You can see the presentation, right, China?
Yeah, I can see the person.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
It says,
It comes up slightly. Hold on. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking down at, at,
oh,
to
it's
make it
okay.
clear.
It's
But yeah,
okay.
yeah, go on.
It's okay. Okay. So my disclaimer is I'm not an expert in MGTOW. So there are channels, Sandman, a couple of Better Bachelor, all these guys who are just deep into MGTOW. I think it's a lifelong thing for them. So I don't consider myself an expert. I'm only speaking from my experience. I believe that men that reach a certain status can get married if they take the proper precautions. Example, um, if a household has a $250,000 income or more, the divorce rate drops to like 30%. So if you've reached a certain level, the risk of divorce is minimized. I do believe in that kind of stuff, but I've worked that hard to get that high. This is based on my experience with MGTOW creators and the people I connected with the most. Uh, Now, MGTOW it can be considered part of the red pill, although some say it's separate, and it really depends on who you talk to. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so my early exposure was Tom Leykis on terrestrial radio. Dude's a genius. He was saying all the red pill stuff that we say on terrestrial radio. So he had to be smart enough to keep it friendly enough to be able to put on national radio. And then I had a college roommate, Jeff Moyer, white guy. He was actually the first passport. He was a white guy, but he was the first passport bro I ever met. I moved in with him, and he was all about swearing off American women and going to Colombia to bang a bunch of women. He had a bunch of money, had his own condo. We were roommates, and then Patrice O'Neill. After that, another godfather of the red pill and
Yeah,
MGTOW.
yeah.
And then Sandman was really prolific too. He was the first person I saw with pushback for his YouTube channel. He's
Okay.
one of the people. A lot of people think that MGTOWs are anti-woman, incels and extremists,
Incel. Yeah.
and they would use his channel as an example. Okay,
Okay.
so the basic tenets of MGTOW and MGTOW by logic. If you want to add to any of if you want to add anything in the chat, go right ahead. If you want to call in, when I drop the general link, anyone can call in and add to any of this. Okay. Number one, accept female nature and navigate through life accordingly. We all get sold this cotton candy dream that women are sweet and what are they made of? Sugar and spice, had everything nice. As a man,
Hmm.
you learn real quick that that's not true. Okay.
That's not true.
Until laws change, avoidance of risk in marriage and and in its place, value my own life on my terms. So, it used to be that, a man isn't a man until he marries a woman and he takes care of his wife and other people.
Mm.
False. Under MGTOW, I choose my own destiny. Number three, liberation from the matriarchal rule book of dating, i.e., pickup artistry, chivalry. Having to impress a woman. Having a peacock and puff your chest out for women. No, it used to be with back in the day, a woman valued a man on his accomplishments. But all this extra stuff, don't even worry about it. Rejection of role as sole provider, protector, or pack mule in relationships. Modern relationships, women want you to put everything aside for them, and you have to spend too much of your time making them happy. Don't be the pack mule. Okay. After that, recognize financial reality of relationships today and in the future. Women are 80% of consumers. And there's a trap where the man's money is the house money and the woman's money is her money. You got to understand this type of stuff if you want to deal with relationships. And until that changes, just don't be in one and don't get married.
Mm.
Avoid the cost of raising children. Veto God's commandment to go forth and multiply, i.e., don't have children, no single mothers, no adopting. And this is a big one: no single mothers
No single mothers
ever. And then another
ever.
big one: defy societal male shaming techniques and slogans. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. It, it's been in popular media for the past 40 years. Women, especially when they hit the wall, they have nothing but shaming to use against you. Don't fall for it. Don't let any woman, your mom, your sister, don't let simps shame you. No one can shame you. That's one of the basic tenets of MGTOW. Okay. You know me and my stats. MGTOW stats in the United States: 50% of marriages in the United States end in divorce. Women file for divorce 70 to 80% of the time. Women get
Mm.
custody of the children 87% of the time. Men pay child support 85% of the time. Men pay on average of $4,500 a year in child support to women. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but the average male income is about 40 something thousand dollars a year.
Mhm.
Men are the breadwinners in households 75% of the time in the United States. So when women are like, oh, women are getting the bag, no, you're not, because 70% of the time, the man makes more than the woman and is paying most of the bills. Women own 70% of the student loan debt. So this $1.9 trillion of student loan debt in the United States, women own 70% of it, and only 9.5% of women are in STEM: science, technology, engineering, and math. So if your girl's in $100,000 in student loan debt, odds are she has a human resources degree. Now, the average male professional earnings is about $59,000 a year. Average female professional earnings is about 49,000. That's just as a professional. In the customer service industry, it's a lot less. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Now,
Let's go.
now, now, Black MGTOW stats: only 26% of Black women will ever get married in the United States. Okay?
Damn. What's the
Black
rest of
women.
them? Baby mamas.
Oh yeah, 100%. Black women
They love
file
to
for
be baby
divorce.
mamas. They love to be baby mamas.
You already know how it is over here, man.
Yeah.
Black women file for divorce 80% of the time. So they're the least married, but file for divorce 80% of the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Almost 80% of Black children are born out of wedlock, baby mamas.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn. 80%. That's
Almost,
like
yeah, it's like
that's like you
78.7%.
meet 10 women and 8 of them are baby mamas.
Bro,
That's
there are more single mothers in the workforce than there are working Black men in the workforce in the United States.
yeah, the single mothers drive the workforce because they're strong, independent women. I don't need no man. Well,
Bro, you
now
already
you need
know.
you need a job. That's what you need.
Yep. Okay. Um, 60% of Black women with more than one child have more than one baby father. 60%.
60. Damn.
60%, my bro.
That's a
Yeah.
how you, so you're telling me 6 out of 10 black women have got two baby daddies.
Yes, if they have children. Yep. So
But to be honest with you, you know what happens? The first one is I was young, I was dumb, you know
of
what I
course,
mean? Oh,
mhm,
we grew apart, whatever. And
yep,
then obviously they get older, they have one kid, and then they're gonna meet another guy. So yeah, that's what happens. That's if you have a baby too young, you're likely to have two baby daddies. I think
yep,
so.
agreed, 100%. And the first baby father is going to be the one that you wanted the genes from,
Mm,
the Chad and Tyrone, and odds are the second one is going to be from some simp
sim,
who's come in to clean up the mess.
he's getting the
So
booby prize, literally.
100%. So and then in the United States, black women are the most evicted from rental properties.
Mm,
And then this is an important one. Black culture is a matriarchy and a gynocracy. Black women control the social currency and the spending power of the black community. Okay, black women think that they own black men in the United States. That's why we can't say anything. We get so much hate because we're you know we date women of other races. Anything that's pro black male gets shut down because women are like, well, what about black women? It's a gynocracy. You must serve women as a black male in the United States, and this is just in general. And then there is a movement called Save Yourselves Black Men. BGS, Ibmore, a couple of other guys started this movement. I don't know exactly when, but they were the first ones to say that black relationship dynamics are so messed up that you need to go elsewhere. Save yourselves, black men. You don't owe our community anything. So I consider it the precursor to the Passport Pros movement when it comes to social media, because I used to see hashtag SYSBM before I saw Passport Bros. So if you're interested in that and that development, I can send you links to that too. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. Common misconceptions about MGTOWs. Okay.
oh, listen, this is where I was.
They are all incels. Okay. Here's the thing. It used to be only rich guys could be bachelors and playboys and stuff. But with the advent of feminism, women, they don't have to be barefoot and pregnant in the house. But then men, we don't have to do anything either. Women, they don't owe men anything. They don't owe women. Women don't owe men their bodies. They don't owe men sex. They don't owe men anything. But then men, on the equal, we don't owe women anything either. We don't have to get married to them. We don't have to protect them. We don't have to do anything. So because you're shirking your duty, your quote unquote duty to women, they call you an incel. Once again, if you don't help women win and their selfish desires, they will call you an incel.
Mm,
So, um, the second one, there are men that have been hurt. Who hurt you, China? Who hurt you? Right? So that's a yes and a no, because here's the thing: part of the experience of a man is a woman ripping your heart out.
facts.
Especially, I'm 42 years old. I was born 1980. So I went through the 90s with all that R&B and all the R&B's music was simping, all the sitcoms were simping. So I was Mr. Romantic, wanting to buy girls flowers and writing poems and stuff, and it got
Singing
nowhere.
in the rain. You're
Oh
singing in the
yeah,
rain like Usher.
I would argue the 90s men, we were the most romantic men that ever lived. And now that we're all MGTOWs and red pill, like that time will never be again. If you think about
Never. Will
uh,
never come again.
Steve Urkel on Family Matters, Roger on Sister Sister, like we were
Yeah.
just raised as simps, and now we've
Now,
all woken up.
Roger was a top simp.
Oh, it was bad. It was
Go
bad.
home, Roger. Go home, Roger.
Even on Prince of Bel Air, the last
Nah,
season
he was the
with
worst simp.
oh, it was bad. So another misconception: MGTOW is forever. MGTOW to me is a status
Mm,
and it's a community and a status that you can adopt until you can get enough leverage to try to be in a relationship and date and get married. Okay,
okay.
you can stop being MGTOW when you want to.
Okay.
Nothing is keeping you from being MGTOW your whole life. Okay. Another misconception is a man can't win by himself. Men, we've been alone on this planet forever. What
Mm.
does Pro always say? 40% of only 40% of men have ever reproduced, right?
Reproduce, yeah.
Think about militaries. Guys have been without women for years, fighting wars and
Mm.
stuff. Okay, men, we can win by ourselves. In fact, as long as you're not a slave to a woman, getting some women pregnant or having some baby mama, I think if a guy's productive and he wants to live in his mom, live in a basement and play Xbox all day, hey, more power to him. But
I'll be honest with you. I also believe in that as well because we have to understand something. Like I saw a meme before, and I think it was like a penthouse or something, and then the guy just had like I think it was just a mattress on the thing, and he had his computer game in there, innit? And then everyone started cussing it and saying, "Oh, this is what about me and about men. They would look how he's living. Look at this big apartment, and he ain't got nothing in it." But then that also what it says about his man is he's happy. He's got a nice apartment, and he's sitting there, and he would only ever need to ever fill up stuff in it if you're coming round. But if he hasn't got, if men are not trying to impress women, they don't actually men are pretty happy with the most basic stuff. If it never depended on it, you would not have a nice car for a woman. You wouldn't have a nice apartment. You wouldn't have.
it's true.
You would just have a nice little. That's why a lot of I like what 50. It's not the same thing, but 50. Remember 50 Cent had that. He had Tyson's house. Remember
Hmm.
50 Cent. Remember he had that bought Mike Tyson's house, and then he sold it. And I remember when he was talking about it, he was like he bought it, and he was like when you it was so big. It was like when you don't use things, they break.
Yeah,
And
yep.
he was like, I was just spending money for no reason, and I didn't need it. It was like, first of all, when I first came up, I had all the homies around me, and he was like, I felt like I had to put everybody up, and he was like, after a while, I'm looking at grown men like, why am I paying for all of this stuff? And he's like, now I just live in an apartment, and people acting like he was broke or something. But imagine having, he was talking about 20 bathrooms and how many rooms and this. After a while, it's like you might wake up one day and be like, I don't need all of this.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
I can only sleep in one room. I can only piss in one toilet. And 50 Cent literally said that. So when you say a lot of times, like, men will be happy with the most basics, because most times men are the most basic. Men are very basics, but women complicate us, and then they start adding extras. You need this. You need, you need a flower pot. Oh, you need a different color. This, you need this. Oh, you need two types of sponges for this to do
Yeah,
this. And before you know it, your house looks like crushed velvet and
yeah.
Essex.
And all your stuff is in the basement in your own house. You're like, what the heck
Yeah,
is going on?
yeah.
There's a meme. It shows like a lawn chair in front of a TV on the ground with a PlayStation, and then like there's a beer next to the chair. And this girl's like, I can't believe men live like this. And this guy responded and said, women can't believe that this is all it takes for a man to be happy.
Yeah, yeah, no, but essentially, it's there. I think I've seen that meme as well because women can't understand how basic you really are.
Yeah,
For
it's
some
true.
of us, it's like, yo, just give just give me, my favorite Cali pack and you're streaming and that's it, and you're watching movies and you're being a stone or whatever. And I think that's why as I get older as well, I can't ever begrudge a man for sitting at home playing computer games. As long as he's doing stuff in you know what I mean, in else part of his life, then
Mhm.
maybe that's his thing. And maybe women, you want to start looking at some of these gamer guys, which actually you know where they always are online. You can actually just be like, oh, he's
Exactly.
online. Like
Exactly. Yeah,
he's not in the club.
he could
He's
be
in the
out chasing
metaverse.
skirt. He could be
Yeah,
out
but he's
chasing
not.
skirt, bro. Yeah.
But
So
but he's not.
and then I'm this is aimed for people like Naomi arguing with a MGTOW. MGTOWs reject the premise that a man needs a woman for purpose and to make him happy. We reject that premise.
I reject it
So
too because
so
no woman
so
has ever brought me true happiness.
yeah. So it's hard to argue with a MGTOW because a lot of women come from that position where, well, uh, uh, men need women just like women need. A MGTOW says no, we don't. So everything past that is just deaf ears. It's just deaf ears. So that's why women have a hard time arguing with the MGTOW, because if you're ever going to get into a debate with someone, you have to make sure that you understand that their premise. And if a person's premise is off, you can't even have a debate.
Mm.
The premise that a man needs a woman to live and survive, MGTOWs reject. So if that's your premise, you can't have a debate with a MGTOW.
Well, listen, you heard it. No woman, no cry. No
Exactly.
woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. So there,
All right. So
God.
another misconception: MGTOWs are anti-woman. Or no, okay. Women, they can be empowered. They can do whatever they want to do, but just not on a MGTOW's dime, and you're not going to bring negative energy to a MGTOW's life. A MGTOW knows exactly what he wants a woman in his life for, mostly sex, or maybe a couple of dates, and that's it. MGTOWs are very aware as to the role that they want a woman to play in their life, and it's very limited, very
Mm,
limited. So, and then there's another misconception that most MGTOWs are right wing. I think a lot of them are, but the basic tenets of a MGTOW don't aren't political as much as they are like lifestyle. Understand what I'm saying? And then
mm,
the last one is MGTOWs are against all marriage. MGTOWs, when they say marriage, it means marriage state sponsored. If you get married in the United States, you are letting the government into your house. When you go to the divorce court, you go to the government to get divorced. So there are some MGTOWs who say, if you can go to the Middle East and do like a spiritual marriage, with
mm.
two Muslim families or something, cool. But just keep the government out of it, because divorce court is where they'll get you. So if you want to get married, some spiritual marriage, and have a ceremony, whatever, woohoo! But keep the government out of it, okay? All right. My favorite MGTOW creators, Greg Adams is a boss. He calls his version the free agent lifestyle. Joker from Better Bachelors, fantastic, and then strong, successful male. But these guys really helped me when I was
Oh, I
going
like
through my.
strong. I like strong, successful man. I'll follow him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like
And
him.
then that is it. Um, I'm gonna show a couple of videos, but I know that Naomi has been listening. I asked her to be here because I wanted to get a female UK content creators.
What the hell? What the hell does Naomi know about mental? She don't know nothing about no
She
mental.
was interested though,
About
so
Naomi.
I'm gonna drop the
She
link
just
here.
she just wants to talk about some spiritual light, the moon and the stars. God is a galaxy type business. Let her in. Let her in. Let's
Okay,
see what she
why
got
is
to
it
say.
not letting me? Okay, 1 second. Uh, Okay, stop sharing. Give me 1 second. Invite. I'm gonna drop the link and let Naomi come up. Now, remember, sign language will be kept to a minimum.
She can't keep sign language to a minimum. She leads with it. She loves it. Look at the latest video I
Oh, uh,
posted when she's like, "I'm not a baby mama."
well, I'm gonna drop the link for Naomi, and if she wants to come up, she can. And if
She said,
not,
"I don't need to." She said, "I don't need to come up." What's up, Naomi? Why do you want to come up? What's up?
so I'm gonna share a couple of MGTOW videos, some of my favorite ones, and you can give me your opinion on them. And
Okay.
then I'm gonna share like 2 videos, and then just you and I. And if Naomi wants to come up, she can. And then I'm gonna open up the chat to everyone. Okay. So let's go through a couple. Let me share my screen here.
Naomi, come up. Let's learn about mental together.
Ha!
I'm
Here she
learning.
comes.
That's weird.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All right, Naomi, I
Spirit
thought you
and
wasn't coming. I was like,
chakras and
what's wrong? I was
energy.
like, why
Let's
is she acting up for?
go.
She always comes up.
Oh, no. I just don't have like if I don't have an opinion on something, I've heard of this like maybe once or twice, but I mean
Well,
it's not.
well, I'll ask you a question.
Mhm.
So, a lot of MGTOWs would say that. So men respond to the social order that women set, especially when it comes to sexual interdynamics.
Yeah.
I've heard MGTOW say that MGTOW is a response to feminism because WGTOW, women going their own way, has been
What
happening
Wigtow? What's
since
what? Now
since
you're from
since
me off
the
Wigtow.
70s. So
Yeah.
what do you think of MGTOW being a response to feminism, aka women go their own way from tradition? What do you think?
I think it's
I
a
know I have such good questions. I know.
no, it is a good,
Let's
it's a good thing.
go.
No, I was gonna say because I don't think feminism has been a good thing for women. It like I've been born into the modern woman, so I was raised by a modern woman. So it's like I don't know any different from that space. So if women can have the right to go their own way, then why shouldn't men have the right to go their own way? I've got a son. So if my son got to a certain age and was like, until I've got my money at a certain point, I'm not going to enter into relationships. I wouldn't tell him, no, please go out there and be with all these girls that just want to use you for your money. I'm not going to do that. So, I mean,
Why can't you speak to the girls and say stop using men for their money?
well, no, because the
Why?
only person that can control himself is my son. And so I need to teach him this from now, not teach him in hindsight once he's already
No, but I'm saying, yes, teach that to your son not to be a simp. Yes, of course,
yeah,
but
100%.
why are we not promoting that women are out here trying to take advantage of men? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, rather than teach your son to be like, you know what, this, like, you need to navigate this. Yes, of course, but there's another one when we can say as women, why are women doing this? And we need to start raising girl daughters that are not going to do this to sons. So he doesn't have to go MGTOW.
I've got an 18-year-old that I raised to not use men for money. I say to her as well exactly the same thing, that accountability of self. So my son can't be used for his money unless he allows it to happen. My daughter can't be used for sex unless she allows it to happen. So there has to be a level of accountability. My daughter's not going to go out there and use somebody because she's not been raised to use somebody. And so whenever I'm talking on these things, I never promote using anybody for money, especially not men. But at the same time, if we want women to, you're saying, women shouldn't be going and getting the bag and all of these other things, there has to be a level of understanding that we do have our roles to play in any relationship, and accountability. I'm not going to be like, my partner used me for sex and then that's all I was given.
So I have a question, because one of the things about MGTOWs is we reject the societal pressures put on men to be able to provide, and then like women put those pressures on us too. Like, how would you help your daughter navigate the societal, like all of the social media and all the shaming that goes on? Because women, here's the thing, the Western society pushes men to put themselves in a disadvantageous position with women, i.e. chivalry, even paying for like a first date and stuff like that. Like, how are you gonna, and guys, because of what they're taught, they're gonna put themselves in a position to be disadvantaged. Like, how are you gonna help your daughter navigate through all that programming?
Well, because my daughter's already at that age of dating, I'm just thinking, because she's an anomaly, she's not like somebody that
dating. She's too young.
Really?
No, well, yeah, she goes on dates, but I mean, she's not.
How can she go on dates now?
Does she pay?
Yeah, I had
come
this
on.
debate. I had this. Can I finish what I'm saying, Chyna?
Yeah,
you're talking about shaming, Chyna, and you're doing exactly the same thing.
I didn't shame you. What did I shame you?
You've just done it then.
What did I do?
Sign language.
What did I do? What did I do?
Can I finish?
I can.
Go ahead, Naomi.
So if we talk about shaming, it needs to work both ways. If you said something, and just because I don't agree with it, I wouldn't then be like, oh, why are you allowing, or why are you doing this, or why?
Wait, hold on a second. That's the whole point of this. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. That is sign language you just did. I did a rebuttal, which I normally do. I said, why?
No,
and you said
you didn't even let me finish my point.
I know, but I never let people.
Okay,
no,
guys. This is my platform. Naomi, continue. Just go ahead. Just move forward.
Yeah, so she's 18. She
take a breath. Take a breath.
Chyna. Go ahead, Naomi. Go ahead.
So she's 18. She does date, and she does pay for things. She pays for her partner. Her boyfriend, she took him out on a date. She buys him gifts. She's very much a very giving child, just full stop. And so I've not raised a daughter that, oh, the man's got to pay for everything. The man's got to pay for everything, because she hasn't seen her mother in that position. So it, generally, like, I'm a single parent, so I pay for everything. So she's not seen that dynamic of a man has to pay for everything. I'm very self-sufficient, but at the same time, I understand that it comes with both ends. It's like quite a difficult one to teach, because we're teaching them to be submissive and be all of these things, and the man's meant to be the provider and the protector. But then we've got on the flip side this MGTOW that's saying men shouldn't have to pay for everything and be the providers. So it's like, I'm new to this space. All I've been hearing on all the other platforms is men are meant to be the provider and the...
Well, no. So MGTOW say if women want to be strong and independent, fine, do it. Over there. Bye. No, seriously.
Yeah.
So well, I'm gonna play the first video. First off, Naomi, plug your socials. Like, introduce yourself and plug your socials, please.
Oh, so my Instagram is n_Mamadou87, and then my YouTube is I Know Me Naomi.
Okay.
And they're the only socials I use, really.
Okay. So I'm gonna play the first video. This is one of my favorites. It's a bunch of women saying why men are going their own way. It's about 3 minutes long. I love this one. Let's go. Share audio. Share. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Can you hear it okay?
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to admit, but it's understandable why they would choose to go their own way. And that's what's scary, is there's actually a rational reason why they would do that.
Men going their own way. And you can think what you want about it, but this is a really big problem for women, for us, for our future, for families, for you to find a partner. If a population of good men are walking away because they're fed up with women.
The dramatic music, it's great.
I can't lie, I love it. It's epic.
Dude, it gets so good. Just wait. I have to stop it every once in a while. I mean, I don't think Manners for Highlight Dailies will copyright, but just so you guys, when you start streaming, you want to pause it and say something every like 45 seconds or every minute, okay?
All right, cool. Is that how you get past the strike?
Yes. Yep. Uh-huh.
All right, cool.
Getting you up on game, Chyna. Let's go.
All right, cool.
And
Let's
wrong
go.
just for being a man, and that you are bad. If you're being told all your life that you are bad and wrong just for being a man, and that you have toxic masculinity for being a man, and that, you know, women, there's this famous expression that, you know, a woman needs a man just like a fish needs a bicycle. And that men are basically useless. And that men are terrible, and that, you know, women are superior.
Our society is very callous towards men. The only message most men hear in the world is that they're a bumbling buffoon. The TV shows are full of idiot men. Commercials show men as buffoons. The society is against them. All they hear about is what idiots men are.
It's the mass of women that are taking over the culture and representing women. They're loud. They're mean. They say they want equality. Why are they not protesting in the streets for the changing the laws for alimony or child support?
That's a good question. Why are they not? I'm just pausing it and I'm going to start it again. Okay, there we go.
Or child custody, because they don't want equality. They want superiority.
The male gender has more of a slave state, and it's because men are now subjugated to the law and to women, and nobody really believes it except the men who go through, say, the court. But most men think that they're exempt from that until they end up in a bad situation.
So for a lot of the men, and a lot of them have gotten screwed over in terrible relationships and divorces and gotten their kids taken away from them. So it's an understandable response.
In the United States of America, as a man, you can't speak up. I think most women tend to be very, I'm stereotyping, but they tend to be more collectivist. They tend to sort of be more in that socialist mindset. So I don't know that you're going to see a huge change. I think the change will have to come from men.
What do you guys think so far?
I'm liking it, man.
Yeah?
I'm listening.
Okay. Let's go.
The lives of women will not change until the men get the opportunity to also examine and define and change their lives. In many ways, I sometimes think that the 20th century was the century where the women made all these massive changes, and the 21st century will be the changes that the men will make, partly in adapting to the changes that the women have done.
Did you hear that? The
Yeah.
20th century, women made the sweeping changes, and the 21st century is going to be men responding to it. It's great.
And those men are doing something about it. They're saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not getting married, or I'm divorced. I'm not going to, they don't sit around just trying to live their life through women. They actually have lots of hobbies. They go out, they buy that land you were talking about. They're out there getting motorcycles. They're having a good time, and they're enjoying life without having to deal with the stress of the women and the society that tells them they have to have a woman in their life.
How would you feel? I mean, you know, you're not going to feel that attracted to a woman or care to be loving towards her or romantic towards her. So this men going their own way is a reaction to that. I really think it's a rational reaction to that. Men are finally like, hey, we've given you all you want. You know, you are equal in every way, and then you're still shaming us.
Boom. So what do we think? Chyna?
Yeah, like no, I like I thought that way anyway, man. Like I just think men have for a long time, for a lot of men, this is a viable option, and it makes sense. And the more I'm watching more bits about it, the more I think it's only been labeled negatively because men want to do it. But like Naomi said it before, women have been doing it for a long time. I'm just me and my girl, just me. Look at Golden Girls, god damn it. There was a whole program about women living together and you know what I mean? Like, so I just think when I first heard about MGTOW, it probably it had a lot of negative connotations to it because it's not truly explained. But like you said, MGTOW is not a lifestyle; it's a status. And for some, you know, because if it becomes a lifestyle, I suppose
I'd say it's both, because it is a status and a label, because you do become a part of a group, but then there are lifestyle tenets that go along with it.
Yeah, but I think if you go full on MGTOW, then I suppose you become a monk. But then again, you said no. That doesn't mean you're not gonna mess with women. It just means you're gonna mess with women on your term, right? So that's not a monk.
100%. Yeah. There are MGTOWs who just go on, on sugar sites, or they go to foreign countries, and you know what I'm saying? Like, MGTOW. Look, they do have monk status though. But those guys are few and far between. But yeah, it's just some guys will just deal with women. You know, some MGTOWs, they enjoy having dinner with a woman, so they'll meet a girl and just take her out to dinner, and then never talk to her again. So some guys will find, they'll do the whole seeking arrangement thing. It's just, it's just doing it on your terms. Okay. Naomi, what'd you think?
I can't see it being a bad thing. If the men are happy in that space and it's working for them, who is anybody to tell them that it's not the right thing to do? Like, I'm all about, if it works for you, that's fantastic. And if it's something that, if I can be educated on it to a point where there's a level of understanding that it may one day be something that could work for my son, and I'm able to then inform him of these spaces, because his dad's married. Well, engaged. He's in a space that he's going to see that monogamous relationship. But at the same time, if he's then exposed to all of these other spaces, my son, then I'm, you know, I'd rather be able to give him an opinion that's, you know, from somebody that he cares about.
Did you see any, first off, your son in school, because the United States, public schools are run by women, and female empowerment is destroying school for boys. Do you see any of that in England with your son growing up? Because I have a couple of friends I work with who literally had to go to their female teachers and say, why is my son not getting the same opportunity? You know, where are the resources for boys? Did you see any?
No, his school, he's got a really good school, and they've got a lot of young Black men as like either support staff or teachers. So that's why my son's been in that school since nursery, because of that reason, and all of the extra things that they do with the children at that school. So he has been lucky that he does have lots of Black men that are good Black men, from my perspective anyway. Okay.
Does your son play video games?
He does. He loves a gamer.
What do you think about it?
I definitely manage it in terms of how much time he has on it. We go out a lot cycling as well, so I definitely keep it very much balanced. But he enjoys it. He enjoys the gaming world. He's very much a bit of a techie.
Do you know why?
Why?
So
I don't, because I'm not a gamer, so I don't know. It's a very boy thing to do, I think. My brother was like that as well.
It's because most of the traditional ways that men would express the masculinity in public and in school are gone. Boys have to sit there and shut up like girls. There's no recess anymore. Even if...
Oh, no, they do at Ethan's school. They have break time.
Yeah, but when I was younger, they had like 4 different recesses. Now they have 1.
No, Ethan has a few breaks. I don't know if it's probably different in America, but they still have very much.
So their teachers, there's no kind of competition in school anymore. Like there's no, hey, Naomi got an A, everyone, so she gets to sit, you know, in the front of the class. Teachers, when I was young, they used to put everyone's grades so everyone can see them. And if you were at the bottom, people would be like, "Hi, you're an idiot." You know what I'm saying? There's all this participation. You know, we don't want people to, boys, we want competition and we want to talk trash.
They do. Okay? And it sounds like I'm kind of thinking, but Ethan's school, they give them like this gold, silver. And so depending on how well you're doing, there is still that like competition in terms of, if you're doing shit, you're not going to ever be getting gold stars. They do it more of like a star rating in his class. Based on your performance. And so they do seem to still have a little essence of it, but yeah, participation.
But as much as when you were young, no, come on,
probably not. No.
So video games are the last bastion of masculinity for young boys. Well, sports.
Yeah, he does kick.
And video games, because video games, you can get on there. There are leaderboards. You can talk trash. It's like a lot of boys, they hold it all in through school, do their homework, and then they could unleash online.
Yeah, I hear it.
And like video games are one of the last bastions of masculinity, competition, talking trash, you know, all that stuff. And society in general has just removed that in general. So that's one of the reasons why I hate this whole, women aren't welcome in video game spaces. It's because women will go into the video game space and expect boys to be malleable and shape their video game experience around women. If you're a woman and you log on to Call of Duty, you need to start talking trash like men do, because we don't have a lot of spaces left. We just don't.
Yeah.
That's why I've never been drawn to gaming. I've literally never been, like, ever. It's not a me space.
Okay. I have one more. This is going to be a good one for Naomi, but let me stop presenting, and then this is an old school Tom Leykis one.
I love that you're super excited about it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do. Okay. Well, I'll do two Tom Leykis ones. One's short and one's long, but let's do the short one real quick. So this is a perfect example of Tom Leykis. Now, Tom Leykis, he used to do his. This is from the Tribe Report channel. This is the only place I can find this rant. Bo's another good creator. Sophie and Bo. I recommend checking out Tribe Report and Tribe of Men. But let's listen to this Tom Leykis rant real quick, because this is one of my favorites. I keep this saved and listen to it. Okay.
There's nothing but a male bashing.
This whole time you know what has happened. So, but we won't harp on about it.
You guys hear it okay?
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's start with some of the Tom.
All of television is nothing but a male bashing paradise all day long. Men are dogs, men are pigs,
This is back in 2003 he was saying this.
men are dead. Men don't know how to love their children. Men don't deserve custody. Men don't deserve to be, my God, the feminists on TV saying that having sex with a woman is equivalent to rape and other craziness like that. It's on all day long. And then it's interrupted by commercials saying that men don't know how to eat. If it wasn't for Carl's Jr., some guys would starve. The Dodge trucks do more than most husbands, and other attacks on men. It is a nonstop orgy of male bashing. This is the one and only program, TV or radio, that is done by men, for men, and about men.
So give men reasons to change.
No. I'm not here to change men. I'm here to say there's nothing wrong with the way men are. I'm saying that we're tired of being the subjects of your extreme makeovers. We're tired of women telling us how we have to change. We're sick of it. You know what? You change.
What if we are changing?
No, you're not. You still, you're generally in this country, women are a bunch of chunky, whiny bitches who are constantly making demands, constantly want us to buy them dinner, buy them drinks, pay their mortgages, pay their rent when we get divorced, give them alimony, give them child support, give them this, give them that, forever, and yet they don't want to put a hot dog on a plate at dinner time because they're too busy.
Well,
and men are fed up with it, and that's why there has to be a radio show that tells the other side of the story. And I am not here to tell men to change. I'm here to tell men there's nothing wrong with being a man. Don't believe what you hear on Oprah. Don't believe what you hear on Dr. Phil. Don't believe what you hear on Maury Povich. Don't believe what you hear on any of those stupid shows. Stop. Stop paying attention. Stop being whipped. Start realizing there's nothing wrong with being a man and being different from a woman. You do not have to pee sitting down.
There is no doubt about that.
That's right.
It's almost over.
He did mic drop. You don't got a pee sitting down. That was like
exactly.
mic drop.
All right.
Wow.
It's almost over.
Did you know that?
This is a country
So
of
he's your
men
ex.
who are just a bunch of with the latest generation of men who were raised by single mothers and in two-career households where there was no man around to tell these guys how to be guys. They need the dad they never had, and that's who I am.
But don't you agree, and I think you probably will, that the problem is that men don't have any idea what it means to be a man.
Oh, yeah, well, if that's true,
He
it's
just
because
said
of the
why.
generation of Bella Abzug and Gloria Steinem followers of the 70s who raised a generation of adult men and told them to cry and be sensitive and be metrosexuals, and now you've got the fruits of your labor, ladies.
Okay,
You've got it now.
He's cooking her.
What? Chyna, what'd you think?
That was the greatest, man. I mean, look, Martin Luther King's "I Had a Dream" was pretty big. I've been smussed a bit, but you know what I mean. But seriously, that was like he just outlined it. He outlined it, man. And look when he said that. Could you imagine? That was like Nostradamus. You know what I mean? That was like he was basically talking about, because look at where we are now.
That was back in 2003 on the radio. He said that.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's a visionary speech, because if he told me that was a speech on the radio the other day, I would agree with it. So he was could you imagine like everything that he was speaking about has come to fruition and way, way much more. You know, and there's nothing wrong with, like I said, masculinity. Like it's just like, you know, there's nothing wrong with masculinity, and I've repeatedly explained attaching toxicity to the word masculine is just one of the tricks that the feminists have moved. These new age feminists that try to attribute toxic masculinity, not such thing. Just like there's not such thing as toxic femininity. Like when I say that, we would only say that because women are saying that about men, but in reality, that's that thing where you're trying to be like women. You look at, oh, toxic feminine. No, that no woman's feminine can be toxic. They're showing extreme masculine traits, and most of the time, it's not even masculine trait. It's just
toxicity. People like to just. I said it on your show. You can't call masculinity because masculinity and toxicity can't go hand in hand.
They're not together.
And it's the same with femininity. You can't have femininity. But with feminism, it's gone so far to the left. It's no longer femininity. So they're pushing for something that is not feminine. It's like pushing to be in your masculine energy is removing our ability to be in our feminine energy. It's like somebody said in one of the things that, I chose not to see it. I was never subjected to these spaces. So it's like being annoyed at a child for not being able to crawl. If you're not subjected to these spaces until you are, you're obviously going to be shadowed by the view of what is around you and what is being pumped into you. I was in a very dominant masculine space, the military. So, of course, like they're not teaching you to be in your feminine energy in the military, are they? And so, and then the women around me, my gran, my mum, were all very pushing this men ain't shit narrative. As soon as I had my daughter and understood that the whole point of having two people to make a child is because, like, my son's lucky that his father is very much active in his life. And his dad doesn't cry, so we're good. His dad is very much in the military still, so we're good on that side of things.
And then okay, so Tom Leykis, Chyna, if you can't just Google Tom Leykis and just listen. He has hours and hours of content. He would have people call in on the radio, and he just all sorts of he's a gold mine. And he was saying this back in the day, and once again, he had to keep it radio friendly. He was on the national radio saying this stuff. People like, oh, you're just saying it for viewers and ratings and stuff. But hey, it was and look what's happening right now. So there's one more video that I want. I have more, but after this next one, I'm gonna open up and get some more people on here, and we can all review it together. But this is a really good one. Let me stop the screen. Present. This is another Tom Leykis one. Share screen.
I'm just putting my iPad on charge, but I've got the Bluetooth on my ear. Give me a second.
This one's called "Why You Should Run from Single Mothers." Let's go.
Rabbit, run, run.
Bye, Naomi. Bye.
I don't want you, Chyna. It's fine. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right, chat. You thought the last one was good? This one's really, really good. So let me set this one up. This is back in the early 2000s too. This was the first case in California where this guy was living with a woman, didn't even marry the woman, and they broke up, and she left. But
no, you're not going to tell me she got. No,
she sued him for child support and won.
No.
Yes, because they were living together.
Kids. They didn't have kids together. They weren't.
They didn't have kids together. He moved in a single mother.
No, that's liberties. No wonder he's saying that.
Yes, this is America. So
make America great again.
And I'm just gonna say it. I've talked to Auntie.
Wild.
I talked to Chyna. I talked to other UK creators, and like, oh, DougMPA, you're just complaining and whining. You need to man up, but you don't know what it's like over here.
Yeah.
You really don't. The laws will get you. The judges make money off of child support, so
It's
they
in their
will.
favor.
Yes,
It's like
they
the
will.
justice system over there is in their favor to lock people up, whereas here there's some prisons that are not government run, but everything's very much like the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very different, and the justice system in terms of family court is nowhere near the same as America. Like if somebody lives with you, you're definitely not gonna have to pay child support.
Let's get this started here. Let's go.
Many times on this show. But I love when there is more documented evidence that what we've been saying all along is true. We're not just kidding around here. We try to have fun on the show, and we try to do the funniest, most entertaining show on in the afternoon or the evening, wherever you're hearing us. And I think that generally we get that done. But just because we try to have fun on the air doesn't mean that we don't mean what we say here. It doesn't mean that the things we say are not important, or that when we try to alert you to something that we're just screwing around. We're not. And I've been telling you boys for years all the reasons why you shouldn't date single mothers.
Damn.
I don't say that just to piss off single mothers, although it frequently does. I say that for a reason.
Hey, stop it for a minute. Stop it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's my spirit animal, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, Tom Leykis, he's a G.
I'm about to binge watch on his content after this. You know that, right?
So good, man. It's so good.
I'm about to come. He's like, I don't got nothing against single mothers. I'm trying to piss. This is like me. He's like me, Tom. He's like me. Sorry, carry on. Let's go.
He has shows. He has a show about single mothers taking over Father's Day. Because in the United States.
No. You need to send me the link. Because I was talking about that stuff.
It's Father's Day, but shout out to the single mothers, and he's just like, knock it off. Or he has a show about in the United States during Christmas time, they have like fund drives for like single mothers. Oh, let's help all the single mothers. He's like, I'm not giving him a dime. All right, I'm gonna keep it going.
Because I know that most men, not all, but most men date strictly to get laid. Most of us, when we meet a woman with kids, think of the kids as an obstacle we have to get over, or a way to manipulate a woman to give us what we want. Oh, isn't he cute? Your son is so cute. But we don't say to ourselves, hey, I'd like to take on the responsibility that the last jerk that you dated did not take on and pay all your bills for the next, 20 years or so. I'd like to do that. The vast majority of men don't think that way when we date. When we go out with a woman, we're trying to get laid.
No, we don't, Tom.
Sometimes we get swayed, or, we let the little head do the thinking.
What'd you say, Chyna?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just replying. I'm like, no, Tom, we don't. Sometimes we get swayed. Sometimes, the coochie's good. Sometimes she cooks good. Sometimes whatever. But, we ain't never going to stay. We never stay. We never stay. We never stay. We never stay,
And for a period of time, we do nice things. And I say this, by the way, as somebody who's done it myself. I have been with single mothers. I have taken their kids to ball games, taught them how to play baseball. I have taken them to the park. I have taken them to the movies. I have hung out with them. I have.
Tom Leykis, he doesn't have any kids, but he was married and divorced 4 times. 4 times.
Damn.
Yeah.
This guy's bitter. He must be bitter, though. He must be bitter.
4 times? What?
Yeah. Because he never wanted kids. So what happened was his first marriage, he was 18. And then when they hit like 21 together, she wanted kids and he didn't.
But did he tell her that before they got married?
Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And so then his second one, his second and third one, he ended up having to move to different radio markets, and they didn't want to move with him. And so they ended up getting divorced. And then his fourth one, he was together with her for like 10 years, and I forgot why they got divorced. But he said the reason why he got married was because his parents were married for like 40 years until his dad died. So he had and he was Catholic. And so he thought that marriage was the way to go. And if he could just kept trying at it, it would work out. Because he always saw his parents as a good example. And that's why he said that he got married 4 times.
Wow.
Anyway, let's continue.
Listen to them cry to me about how they miss their dad. I've done those things. Because contrary to what many of our listeners believe, I like kids. What I don't like is women who think that we should pay for everything. I don't like the idea that because I'm dating you and therefore I'm nice to your kids today, that somehow obligates me to 18 or more years of paying you.
Yes.
The opportunity to spend.
What's that, Chyna?
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Look, just because I like you, yeah, and I think you look good, you got a nice figure and that, I enjoy our day, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I want to look after. Like, women think they're like, oh well, if you love me, you love my kids. No, it doesn't work like that. You don't automatically have a bond with a child which is not yours just because I have a bond with you. That's not how it goes. But
some people
they
don't
seem
even like
to,
their own children, let alone somebody else trying to like.
yeah. Like some people, yeah, I'm saying like, bro, some people don't like their own family. Like, how can I like yours? I'm like, I don't even like my brother. Or something. You be like, I don't even like my brother, and I'm trying to like your kids. It's just a thing where if they were more realistic about men, I reckon if women acted more like, you know what, yeah, I'm a single mom. I know you don't want my kids. I know you ain't got 90. I reckon men will be quite the opposite to it. To be honest with you, I reckon we'll be more likely to be like, okay, cool. She's telling me the position. Men will be more likely to be like, actually. She's acting like she don't need me or whatever. Let me show her. Actually, let me start doing some stuff for her because she's saying she don't want this, don't want that. But if I do it, then maybe, you know what I mean? I think men will be more, because I'll be more inclined for a woman that doesn't want nothing. I'm more inclined to do the things versus a woman that expects it. You know what I mean? I'll be more happy to help a woman that knows that has made it clear that those kids are her kids and she's not even trying to make me interact with them like that. Then I might be outside and buy the kids something, or you know what I mean. That's how I am. Anyway,
I'll do you one better. So I believe in a term called reciprocity. Men and women are different, but you can bring equal worth and value to a relationship. When you get with a single mother, reciprocity can almost never be reached because she's automatically asking you to do something that you can't ask back from her. I honestly believe if a man makes $150,000 a year and he gets with a woman making $40,000, she has to make up the benefit of being with a guy that makes that amount of money. He's contributing this, she's contributing this, so she has to make up this amount. And it's the same. Like a lot of professional women are having to face that too. If you make $150,000 as a professional woman, and you want to date a guy making $40,000 a year, that guy should make up that difference. Because he gets to enjoy the benefits of you making more money.
But making a difference in what?
You have to determine what that is. So like, I have no problem with a man asking a woman if he makes $200,000 a year, his woman makes $40,000, saying, "Woman, look, like cook me food and do my laundry." You know what I'm saying? Single mothers, if you're bringing a kid to the table, he's here, you're here, and as long as you figure out a way to make up this difference, it's fine. But like single mothers don't, even women who don't
I can't lie to you. How do you make up the difference of a kid or two? That's a big difference.
It was done in the past. My sister is my half sister, so my mom made my dad quite the offer. My mom was submissive and did everything she possibly could
because she wanted a man.
Yeah.
Women today say they don't need a man.
Yeah. So like they just think that a guy who's worked himself to death to get to a certain value, they'll treat him like an average guy. Like, well, you just get me and that's it. It doesn't work that way. And I'm equal. Professional women are having to face the same thing. If you're a woman and you date a guy who only makes $35,000 a year, you need to figure out how that guy can make up that value somehow. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep this going.
Time with your children. I go as far as to say that the last time I was with a woman who had kids, she was so exhausted from taking care of the kids, she would ask me to take her kids for a couple hours so she could sleep.
No, I'm done.
Bro, yeah, bro. I think it's like 4 more minutes.
There were times she needed to go out on job interviews, and I stayed with her kids. I did these things. I think to myself, what if this woman came back to me and said, you know what? Now I want money from you. I'm going to court, and since my kid thought of you as a father figure, since he wanted to take a bath with you, and since he wanted you to teach him how to play baseball and all those things, I'm going to go to court, and I'm going to say the kid sees you as his father, and therefore you owe me money.
This is America, guys.
I was lucky to get out without owing money. So I am telling you right now that if I were you, I would never, ever, ever get involved with a single mother. I mean it now more than ever. California houses 1/9 of all the population in America. And we have now seen a precedent set here where a man who was nice enough to take on his girlfriend's responsibilities, she had a kid with a man who's now in prison. He took on the responsibilities. He paid the bills, helped out. Kid called him dad. Mom lied to her son and said, that is your dad. It isn't. And now they're getting a divorce. Mom is coming after him for child support, and the California State Court of Appeals said, yeah, he owes it. There is no specific law that allows for this to happen, but they did it anyway. They made law themselves. There's only one way for men to fight back, and that is if you find out a woman has kids, run. Run. Run away. Don't hang around.
That's what I said.
I don't care what state you're in.
Go ahead.
So who makes these laws in America?
Okay, so if there is no definitive law, city ordinance, county, or state, judges have the discretion to rule how they want to.
What? So there's not actually a law?
No.
It's just depending on the judge's discretion.
They might have had a bad morning and not got some and then been like,
no, that's
"I'm not feeling good."
Or remember, judges get a portion of the child support that they rule on.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you guys. Yes.
Wild.
That's why women get custody 80% of the time, so they can put the guy on child support.
And then they'll be getting a percentage of every single person that they put on child support. They'll be getting a little.
Yes.
They're
getting that residual income.
You got it.
Wow.
That's why
I didn't even know it was like that.
When Pearl says that women are incentivized to leave and incentivized,
I get it now. I get it.
To break up their.
I get it now. I get it.
Because even lawyers. So in the United States, a woman can leave you, right? She can get a lawyer, divorce you, and then judges will assign you to pay her legal fees. So
no.
Yes, you have to pay for your lawyer, and then after you have to pay for hers too.
You see why men be committing suicide? They're like, this is long. I can't do this.
So like that's I would tell my son not to get married. I wouldn't even let him live with somebody if he was in America. I'd be like,
mental. See, you're getting him ready for mental already.
Yeah, if he's gonna go to America, 100% here, it's a bit different. But I mean, that's
you're getting him ready for mental.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And so if you're, and then for me, a quick tangent. So I'm 42 years old, 6'2", accomplished, 6 figures, and I have a term I call I call women that are buzzer beaters. Buzzer beaters, basketball, you sink that last shot before the buzzer, before the time runs out. There, women around here, they're getting towards geriatric pregnancy and they want to get a kid real quick. And these women, I'll go out with them and they'll look you up and down and be like, this guy would be a good father to my children. Not looking at you like you're marriage material or anything like that.
Just a donut.
And yes, and they know the court system, so they're ready to get a kid off you and then put you on child support and all that stuff like that. Guys, and that's what MGTOW is. MGTOW is, guys, you have to understand that this is understanding that this system exists and navigate accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, let's get through this a little. Hold on.
We had two guests on this program who are experts in this field who said that to one extent or another, this is happening in every state in America. It's not just Washington. Because we have so many listeners in the state of Washington, we've heard from more of them, but this is happening to men in all 50 states. There is one way to fight back. Don't let the little head do the thinking with the big head. Don't have sex with single mothers. Don't date them. Definitely don't hang out with their kids unless you're planning on paying for the next 15 or 20 years. Don't do it. It will cost you money. Don't do it. Stay away. Now, you've heard me say this and try to add humor to it from time to time, and that's generally what we do. I'm speaking to you very seriously right now. I always mean what I say, even if we're kidding around when we say it, but I'm now telling you point blank. If you're dating a single mother, stop now. If you're thinking of it, stop thinking about it. The only time you should date a single mother is if you are prepared to accept responsibility, no contract, nothing in writing, but you will be forced at some point to be responsible for her kids until they're adults. There isn't a piece of ass in America worth that.
Tom Leykis is the GOAT. I'm telling you, he's great.
So my word to you is you shouldn't date a single mother unless you want to take on financial responsibility, unless you want to pay her bills, because that's what you're going to end up doing if the relationship doesn't work well. If it does work out or it doesn't work out, you're going to pay.
Does he do videos?
Trying to help you boys, and more children are being born out of wedlock, and that means more and more when you meet a woman, she talks about the father of her child, or she has to get home to the babysitter. And these are girls who are 19 and 18 and 21. Stop. Stay away. Stay away. Now, doesn't that make complete sense?
So, Chyna, what do you think first?
Bro, I'm about to go binge watch on his content after this one. I want to go zone out to some of this. Has he got videos or is it just?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. You can just type into Tom Leykis, dude, and he has, because he always does a 15-minute opening monologue, and then he takes callers. And he has shows where he would ask people to call. He's like, if you hate me, call in. So women be like, oh yeah, it's just so good. Just Tom Leykis, and then just binge watch him, dude. He's great.
I'm gonna binge watch him, man.
Naomi, what about you?
I get it. I as much as I'm a single mom, I get, like, especially if that is the system in America. Where's the incentive for any man to ever be with somebody with children, especially if it's not your child, and then you're going to be left with the bill. I never get why people get a kid to call someone else dad anyway, full stop. It's never happened in my house, but it's wild. My brain's processing.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say, I said it before, I'll say it again a couple of times. People, oh yeah, DougMPA, you're just saying all this stuff and you're bitter and this and that and stuff. It's you have, once you know what's going on, once you take the red pill, it's just you can't unsee it. And MGTOWs, a lot of us living like how we are and not participating in the system, we're already winning. We're making good decisions by not being involved in this foolishness. And not only that, but you get to a point where like, for a woman, I can do whatever I want right now, and no one can stop me as long as it's moral and legal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Men give up so much to be in a relationship. We give up our sexual mating strategy. We're expected to provide. We have to provide in a traditional sense, and then we have to make a woman feel okay with everything that we do. Like it's gonna take quite the woman to be able to do that. And honestly, a, a lot of us MGTOWs, like we don't push our view on others, but if you come to us, we're gonna talk like this. And if you're a woman and you can deal with this, it's gonna pay off for you. But MGTOWs, a lot of MGTOWs, we just say what we think and what we know, even if it sounds, the M word, misogynoir and all that stuff. Because honestly,
for me, it's more because I've got a son. Like, I need to hear these things because I'm raising a man. So I have to be able to see things from males' perspectives if I'm going to be able to raise a son that is going to be out in the world that's logically going to look at relationships.
Okay. All right. I'm going to drop the link and see if anyone else wants to come on. And then I actually have a Patrice O'Neal video that we can all review together. So let me drop the link and see who else wants to come in. We can go for like another 20. We're at 121 right now, so maybe another 20 minutes or so. So whoever wants to come in, click the link, come on in. And if you come in here, keep it civil. I really appreciate Chyna being here and Naomi being here too. Giving their opinions, opening themselves up to learn about this stuff. Hopefully one day you can come over here and see what it's really like here. Be respectful. Keep the discussion civil. Let's see who we have here. And if you come in, introduce yourself and plug your socials, okay? Hey, the Cerebral Inquirer. What's going on, my friend? How's it going?
It's good. Listen to all this. You're doing an excellent job of
I appreciate it, my friend.
highlighting what MGTOW is and the current situation of the USA and wherever its effects touch.
Introduce yourself and say your socials.
So Instagram is Keen Betacuda, like the name on here, as well as on YouTube. You can type in the Cerebral Inquirer, or you can do the www.youtube.com/Keen Betacuda. So you can find me 2 different ways. So just for right now, just Instagram and YouTube.
So tell me about your MGTOW experience. Were you ever MGTOW'd when you first? Give me a quick 5 to 7 minute synopsis about your experience with MGTOW. Do you believe in it? Like who are your prominent voices? Give us a little bit of background with MGTOW.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I have too much of a background. I just see it as a bunch of men who are establishing themselves, focusing on themselves like they should, and becoming the best versions of themselves, as a lot of these women claim they want. So it's a good thing, Me personally, I'll say I can't necessarily claim to be MGTOW because, well, I was focused on my path, but I allowed distractions to get in the way. I still kept establishing myself, but I didn't completely go my own way. So I just I believe in men establishing themselves so they can pick and choose from the woman they desire.
Okay. And let me load up the next video because we're all gonna like this one. This one's kind of lighter. This is a Patrice O'Neal video. He's one of the godfathers of Red Pill MGTOW. But he did it in comedy form. He's one of those, a lot of comedians, they joke, but they're telling the truth. So this is called, where is it? Oh, wait. Oh, this one's called How to Get Out of the Friend Zone. Okay, you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go.
Friend zone. I've been in the friend zone. It's first of all, it's pathetic. Second of all, you're starting off 2 cars behind. Say you're driving down a one-way street, and it's a small one-way street. And once you got 2 cars behind, man, I'm telling you, what happens is as you're slowing down and she's moving ahead, you could get 3 cars behind because a lot of times somebody pulls out in front of you, and now you're 3 cars behind. Emotionally. And let me tell you, man, this is what I mean about the abuse thing, Daryl. What women are going to do is it's like children. I'm telling you, is that once they don't know what satisfies them. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah. They don't know.
Dead lost, friend.
So the abuse they give you that works when she knows that you are going to be the guy that hangs around and is going to be unhappy about not getting the pussy, but still hang around. She does. It's like when you do comedy, okay? And I've been doing comedy a long time. Let me tell you something about my theory on bombing, okay? When you bomb, you don't try to pull out of it by making the crowd happier.
Trying harder.
You get out of it by making it worse. You just take 2 grenades and you toss them into the ground and you kill everybody. Because what you don't want is to give the audience the power to know that they can affect you, because they will not do what you think humans do, which is go, oh, he's having a bad time. Let's help him through this. They go, ooh, I get to take my foot and run it on his neck and control him and have him beg for mercy. And they will fucking let you flail. So what you do is go, I control my destiny. Here's what you got to do. And I'm going to tell you, you started off backwards. There's no way to turn that around except for, like Dante said, take the chessboard and throw it in the air and start all over. I don't know with her, but you cannot start behind, dude. You cannot. Let me tell you something. You can't play a basketball game and spot the opponent 20 points. You can't do that. That's what women want you to do. They not only want you to say what's not important to you, but they're going to tell you what's important to them, dude. And what this does, and this is the other dude, Joe, it doesn't make them go, I want him. It makes them go, I'm going to control this guy because he's a pussy, and I want this type of thing in my life. Who's going to come in and...
What do you think so far, Chyna?
Yeah, no. He's speaking mad facts. This guy, I'm liking him. Liking how he's gonna put the animation and stuff and put it towards it as well. Like, it's kind of like, yeah, man. Like, what is this? You see this whole thing about Mandem putting himself in the friend zone, and it's just, I don't understand about women. Orbiters. These guys just hang about in it, sort of thing. So it's kind of like when he showed dead last, he showed how it starts off. It starts off her options, and then you're there. So when you get picked, you have to understand, like, you're not even the last choice. You're like, like the last choice, like, you know what I mean? So I just think, yeah, like, definitely.
Let me get to the last 15 seconds of this video real quick. Let me welcome in AJ. Hey, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? How you doing?
Hey, just real quick, introduce yourself and plug your socials.
So, my name is AJ. I have a YouTube channel. I'm AJ's Rants and Reactions. I'm a Red Pill guy. I was MGTOW at one point, but now I'm just mostly Red Pill. You know what I'm saying? I preach to younger guys to be MGTOW. You know what I'm saying? If you're 18 to like 35, MGTOW is the way to go. And yeah, man, I like the stream so far. I was a little late. I had some plans, but yeah, man. You know, it's
Let me get through
interesting that you, yeah.
let me get through the rest of this video real quick, and then we can discuss.
And plug the VCR up or plug the DVD player up in all those holes in the back of the LCDs now. Who's gonna come and move her refrigerator so that she can sweep in the back of it? Who gonna do that? You, asshole!
So Patrice O'Neal I told you, he was a red pill comic. He was the GOAT. Naomi, what'd you think?
I thought it was a very clear description of how it is for a lot of men that get friend zoned. Yeah, and for how it is for women. 100%.
Barracuda, what'd you think?
I mean, he was spot on. Because you don't want to think that women want to be in control. You know, just think of what you get of having a male friend. You get free resources, free protection, a free shoulder to cry on. You ain't gonna give it up. Why would she want to change that? He benefits how? You know? And it's a lot of guys, I think they realize that, but they don't. They just the simp ship is so strong. Me, I've been the friend zone. But when I was in the friend zone, best
All of
believe
us
I was
have,
doing
bro.
my
It's
thing.
cool. I said, so all of us have. It's cool, bro. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm saying that. I know it's cool. What I'm saying is, even when I was in the friend zone, I was doing my thing regardless. She can wait on whatever. I'm out here doing this, doing that. You know, if we're not together, I mean, I'm not obligated to, be faithful to somebody I'm not with. And that's why I recommend guys, if they're gonna even entertain that, because people are friends for different reasons, but at least still be doing your own thing. Don't be hung up on the girl who's taking your time for free.
I've got a question.
Wait,
so you,
hold your question, Naomi. AJ, what do you think of the friend zone?
Well, you know, I don't think men should have female friends anyways, unless it's like someone that they were friends with since like grade school, and they just don't see him in that light. But other than that, there's no. I mean, all the effort that you're spending on a woman who's your quote unquote friend, you could be spending on finding the one that you really want to be with, getting your money up. So there's no real point. And the thing is, I don't hate on women for putting dudes in the friend zone. All's fair in love and war. This is a war out here. Women want what they want as much as they can get, and men want what we want. So it's war. You know what I'm saying? There's no Geneva Convention for getting pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's war. So people are just shocked that women want to get as much time and attention out of men. How it is. But I think any man that realizes they're in the friend zone, because oftentimes you have a lot of guys who don't realize it until all of a sudden it clicks. Get out, just leave. But there's no way out. There's no all these pickup gurus have videos saying this is how to get out of the friend. No, the only way is just leave. So I don't believe in men and women being friends. If a dude is dumb enough to stay friends with a chick, it's his own fault. And women, the one thing they are is survivors. It's an evolutionary trait. So they are made to do what it takes to survive, and that's call some dumb dude over to fix the pipes, to fix the roof, to give them rides, fix their tire. It's an evolutionary thing. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, Naomi, what was your question?
No, I was going to ask because he was saying that he just does his own thing, but then most men that get friend zoned, it's not because she sees him as a potential partner eventually, it's because she doesn't see him as a potential partner at all. So would you still be doing stuff for her? So like, would you still be doing, like, if your friend then called you, hey, can you come and fix the pipes, would you then be doing the stuff for her? I was a bit confused when
let me chime in real quick. Real quick. So men, we're gonna, especially young men, you got to get like the friend zone is a thing for a reason. It's not going away anytime soon. So I tell guys not to be in the friend zone, Naomi, but if you have to set a comfort and convenience level for everything. Don't give away anything that you can't afford to lose, because ultimately I've had women in the friend zone that I've ended up smashing. So sometimes the friend zone does pay off. It just doesn't pay off very often. So you got to make sure that you don't go over your comfort and convenience level for anything as a man. Barracuda, go ahead.
Okay. So you basically said can you repeat that, just the last part?
So I was asking that because your statement was that you don't give them anything and you're still doing your own thing in terms of other relationships. But I was saying that like when a woman puts you in the friend zone, it's because she doesn't see you in that space. So are you still doing stuff? So if she calls you, hey, can you fix something for me? Are you then going over and fixing stuff? Or is it just you said platonic friends and you're there doing yours and you just have an attraction to her? Like I was a bit confused at that last bit he said.
So I haven't necessarily been the most ladies would do friend is like call me for advice. I wouldn't necessarily go over there and do certain things. It depends, because I do have a big heart. I do things for people regardless. As far as you said what would I do for them regardless? It just depends, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Not most, but quite a few of the friend zone, we would be more than platonic friends. So I get the situations where most men go through, but I tend to not stay around unless there's a mutual benefit. Like I'll be friends with this lady because she's intellectually sound. She can help me with debates. I'll be friends with this one because she can help put me to resources. You know, there. I'm trying to think throughout my history without taking too long.
I think we need to caveat this with saying, look, there's different types of female quote unquote friends. To me, the friend zone is when you shot your shot at a woman and she said no. She said, I only see you as a friend. I call that the kiss of death, where you made it clear that you have romantic feelings for her and she turned you down, and yet she says that we can still have some type of relationship. That's different than I just meet Naomi, so we just happen to be at the same coffee shop for 3 years, right? Hey, how you doing? And we become friends outside of me shooting my shot. But I believe that if you shoot your shot at a woman and she says I don't like you like that, you cannot be friends with her. You can't.
I've encountered that a few times. I don't know what I did. I usually I'm usually just like, okay. I keep in touch, they keep in touch, and I keep doing my own thing. It's weird. Can't remember staying around for.
It sounds like you naturally don't get stuck in the friend zone, man. You know what I'm saying? I
know I have though.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? It means that it doesn't happen much, you know.
I'm trying to. I know there's been some.
He's searching. He's like, I'm searching. But I think you'll know. I think if you were in the friend zone, like you would know, because the calls would only come when she really needed something. It wouldn't be like a consistent conversation chat unless that is the dynamic that you guys have created. But most women that they'll have like the food guy, the guy that will drive them places, the guy, and they're all friend zone.
Guy, ouch.
Okay,
no.
I got
the one
two.
that'll feed them, the one that'll drive them somewhere, the one that but these guys are never gonna get no coochie. They're staying in the friend zone.
Damn, savage.
I can say something real quick. I've actually put myself in the friend zone before, and because I was too nice.
You got to explain this one quick, bro.
Because I was too nice. Like I was nice, and you could tell, like when you're both watching the video together, your heads together, and she's so beautiful, and you're just nervous. You don't want to upset. You don't want her to think you're a hoe, and so you just hold back, and then next thing you know, you're friends for 3 years, and then y'all date for a year and a half, and it's great. But then, her insecurities come out because she thinks you're some sort of hoe, you're some sort of macho guy, whatever, whatnot, and then. Yeah. And the thing is, I'll also say this. A lot of ladies will friend zone guy, whether a potential guy or not, because humans tend to be as faithful as our options. And when you expose women to more, they are consumers, they'll become insatiable. So they'll friend zone a bunch of guys that have to fall back on in the future, right? Unless he's a standout guy that she gotta have him right now, they'll friend zone him until she's done having her fun. There's that too.
I just say don't even do it. You shoot your shot. She says, I look at you like a brother, like a little brother or older brother, or we're
just kill yourself.
I see you as just a friend, dude. Just give
just
up
shoot
and walk
yourself,
away, man.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, even if that happened to you, and then you ended up smashing, it would just be pity sex anyways. You know what I'm saying? And
I purposely use that statement. Oh, I'll purposely so that a guy doesn't think that I'm interested. I'll call him I'll be like, oh, you like a little brother, or oh, you like a big brother. Purposefully, because they're not directly asking me out, but I don't want them to think they're putting themselves in a position to eventually be able to ask me out. I will just put the boundaries are clear from the start, so we don't have to get to that point. So you then just don't bother.
Naomi, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a question for the entire panel, but especially Naomi. Do you know of any women who friend zoned a guy and then ended up settling for him and being with him, but you could tell that she is with him because she had nothing else going on, or he wasn't her first choice? Have you ever seen that happen? And how pathetic was it?
I don't think so. Maybe in casual relationships, I'll see she'll go out on dates with somebody that she really likes, but she'll have sex with the guy and he'll come over, but and then she'll go out on dates, but the guys that she goes on dates with won't be getting no coochie, but then the Tyrone and Chad, I've only seen those kind of dynamic. I haven't seen somebody actually settle for the friend zone dude. No.
Okay.
I've seen guys do it though.
Chyna, what was your worst friend zone story?
I reckon it was probably just school. Yeah, okay, cool. I was in school. The worst story is in school. There's a girl that I really liked, and I remember she was I remember getting her. We did a talent show because I wanted to.
What did you do in the talent show?
No, it was rap. Wait, what was it? What song was it? I'm trying to remember.
Can you rap it for us?
No, it was Tupac. It was Tupac, California Love. Yeah.
Let's go.
Nah, but the thing is,
I had my MC Chyna, DJ Clue.
I know, but the thing is, I had one of my brethren, and he was like, "We don't need her." I was like, "No, we need her." And it was like, "What do we need her for?" I'm like, "Yeah, we just need her." So we had her in the middle, just kind of dancing and singing, but she wasn't doing nothing. She wasn't doing Naomi. There was no need for her.
Life.
It was just she was the backing dancer, but there was no need for it. And then I remember I used to speak to her all the time or whatever. And then crazy story, she ended up having a baby in year 7.
What?
It wasn't with me. Yeah, no. And then fast forward, I end up obviously seeing her years later, and then she was overweight, and she just whatever.
I always find the really hot girls at school are the ones that peak too fast, and then
because they're getting all the love now. Yeah. It's always the ugly ones. They come up later on.
I mean,
I recall when I was friend zoned.
He's like, it's taken me all this time.
No, I got one for you guys. So basically, well, it was 10 years ago. Well, it was a girl I really liked. We really liked each other. And this is my dumb tale. I don't know how many of you guys have done this before. Let's go through each other's phones. For trust.
Bro, are you serious?
Yes. I was about 18. No, I was like
Well, what
20.
are
I
you
don't
doing,
know.
man?
And so basically, she found it was kind of when we started talking 2 weeks prior. I was messaging this thought, and I was being nice, but I wasn't saying the same thing to the girl. But it was similar stuff because I'm a nice guy, and she judged me for it in a negative way, and so that was that. We didn't get together. And so over the years, every once in a while, I would see a post and she'd go with these different guys and get a heart broken and whatnot. And I would still be there like, I know you judge me because of this, but you can give it a chance. And she said she ruled out. I'm like, okay, this girl is putting herself in more and more trauma. Then finally, this is back to the phase where I thought you could convince women to be with you through sex.
No, you couldn't do that.
We finally had a bunch of sex. I'm like, I got her. But you can't, like you said, you can't do that. And it was just that, and I couldn't get the relationship I wanted after all these years. And even after all the good notions, she still would not come around because she wanted to play around with her. We're the same age. I'm 30, she's 30. Play around with her youth. I'm like, damn, I was sincere to you. I've given you some awesome sex. I mean, we click. Like, what's going on? What's wrong? But you want to keep playing with your time and keep playing with your options.
That's one of those,
Maybe she
if you have
didn't
to ask
trust.
if you have to ask those questions, bro, it's already done.
Yeah,
Go
maybe
ahead,
she
Naomi.
didn't trust. Maybe she didn't trust you because of the going in your phone and finding your texting thoughts. Maybe she was
she
like,
didn't
I don't
trust
see
me.
you as husband material anymore. So maybe
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Naomi. Though here's the thing, right? This was 2 weeks after me and her. We were in college. We were fronting around clicking for 2 weeks, right? The day me and her started clicking was the day that girl got that message. And she actually looked through that message. She could see that I was not saying the same exact things. You could see I was being nice to that girl, but I was not talking about our relationship, this and that. I was just being nice. With the message to her was similar, but it was me showing sincerity and wanting a relationship and all the other stuff, you know? And it's funny. I had to find out I wasn't the only one because in 2017 I had to find out about dating apps, POF.
Plenty of whales.
Yeah, listen, look, bro. See, I didn't believe it. Listen, I'm on there looking for a relationship. Yo, these girls, these women were just wanting to.
Plenty of Fish was a dating app back in the day, but it was full of Anyway,
It's still around.
Listen, there's I'm sorry. Well, there's a study too. It was the woman talking about how ladies have invented hookup culture because they control access to sex. And whenever you bring this up, women do not want to take accountability. A lot of them, they're like, "No, men control hookup culture." If we did, you want to know what would happen if men controlled access to sex?
Yeah,
man, we'd all be late.
Yeah, man, it would be crazy, man. We'd be smashing left,
real quick,
because if that was the case that men controlled it, it would have always been like that. Because men have if it would have always been that way. If men controlled it, it would have been like that from the turn of time, right?
We're almost at the 2 hour mark. So I want to show just a quick clip of Greg Adams, quick, but AJ, if you can sum up the Antonio, because I was on another podcast with you, and you talked about this guy Antonio that was in the friend zone.
Yeah, so that's Don't Be an Antonio. On my channel, I always talk about Antonio, and this guy Antonio is the biggest simp I've ever met in my entire life. So Antonio, he's a successful guy. He makes six figures, but He's kind of a, skinny, old, I mean, early 50s Hispanic dude, right? And he liked this girl that I knew who was a cute, red-haired girl, you know what I'm saying? But who was a successful kind of modern woman, right? And this girl, her professional life is in order. She was really high up, stuff together, but her personal life is in shambles. Because you know how women say that men are quote unquote intimidated by their jobs and careers, which isn't true. She was intimidated by guys that actually didn't need her, who were winners in life. She would only date losers that would move in her house, abuse her, throw stuff at her. But then anytime a lawyer or a doctor who made more money than her tried to talk to her, she would run away. My point is, so this guy was in love with her, right? And he did everything for her. He would go fix her car when it broke, dig ditches in her backyard, do all this stuff. And he shot his shot at her. And she said, no, I just see you like a friend. So he watched as she got back with her ex who cheated on her, gave her an STD. He got her pregnant, right? The ex. So now she's a single mom because obviously dude dipped out. This guy Antonio was with her at her doctor's appointments the whole pregnancy. Now she had the baby. He babysits her daughter for her. He has a picture of a little girl on his phone as his screensaver on his phone. And the whole time he had shot his shot at this girl, and he watched her become a single mom by some bum. And now he helps her babysit her bastard child. It's crazy, man. Don't be an Antonio. Don't do it, man. This is symptom the likes of which I've never seen. And it's still going to this day.
I actually know a girl that she was my brother's friend, and I didn't see her for quite a few years, and then she was pregnant. I was like, oh, and her partner. Well, I thought it was her partner because he was in all of the going on holiday with baby, go do all these things, and then she was like, no, he's just supporting me. I was like, what? And then the guy that she had the baby to, he would see the baby, but the baby would call them both dad. I was like, this is all just too confusing. But she wasn't with either of them. She wasn't in any relationship with either of them.
You know what? That's those guys' fault. You could say that it's hers. You know what? But
it's accountability on both sides. They allowed that to happen.
What I'm saying is at some point the men gotta wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, I'm gonna.
Oh God, this guy.
So first off, this is the valuetainment where they had this OnlyFans girl who the slave was married, was a nurse, and then she went on OnlyFans. This guy, let me start by saying on this platform, F Hafiz. He's awful. This guy is the simp. He started off as Red Pill, and now he got married, and now he's just a simp. And he's actively attacking Red Pill content creators. He tried to come for Pearl, but Pearl handed him 2 L's.
I remember, yeah.
I can't stand this guy. But Greg, this happened right before he went on Pearl's show and tried to get at her and lost, because this was on Wednesday, and then he went on Pearl's show on Thursday. So Greg Adams lit him up on here too. I have three short little clips on here, and then we can do a quick discussion, and then we can get off.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Before this, here's the thing that Hafiz, this idiot, doesn't understand, and this is going back to the original point because I missed you guys' other part about MGTOW. MGTOW is a philosophy. There's no reasoning with MGTOW guys. MGTOW guys won't even stop and debate someone like Hafiz, right? Red Pill guys might, because they still deal with women, but MGTOW guys don't. If you bring up how to be with women, they can't be shamed, they can't be bargained with, they can't be reasoned with. That's how MGTOW works. Once guys are MGTOW, the only thing that can make them not be is themselves. You can't. All my MGTOW friends, they don't even listen to women at all. or anyone that's trying to say why are you not married or whatever. They're completely out of it. It's not even in their stratosphere anymore. You know what I'm saying? And Hafiz, he's trying to act like he's some guru that knows about marriage and trying to shame MGTOW and red pill guys. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? You know, and he just makes
I
himself
can't
look
stand him,
dumber
dude.
and dumber
Yeah.
every time.
I'm ashamed that I supported him before I knew the truth.
Yeah, me too. I used to watch The Roommates when he had Kevin Samuels on it. This guy, I'm gonna mute because this motherfucker. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So this is the first part. So he's simping about getting married because Hafiz is like, oh, men should get married. You know, let's stop talking about the bad parts and only talk about the good parts. And Greg Adams buys him. So let's play it.
I love that.
Now, when you hear something like this, obviously he's sort of saying, all right, I hear you, coach. Your marriage didn't work. You got out, you know, thank God before the 10-year mark. So you'd probably be a little bit more spiteful than you are. I'm not saying that you're spiteful, but you'd be even more spiteful if you're paying a ridiculous amount of alimony and everything that you'd be paying. But is there anything wrong with that if he's saying? He's basically saying, I hear you, coach. It ain't easy out there, brother. Like, life's tough. Marriage is tough. Making money is tough. Things are tough. But don't tell me that I shouldn't get married, or don't tell me that I can't have a successful marriage. How do you process that?
I don't think anyone says do not get married. I think they caution people to say do not get married. If I say do not get married without leverage, that is a position, right? That you can change. Thus, if you read my book, it says once you get to that position, you can then make the decision. You'll probably come out better than going in it without it. However, this is what I will always say. When men do find that solution does not work out, they are left alone. There's nobody to help them. So people encourage people, hey, why not? Give it a try. But when you go bankrupt, when you lose your kids, when your kids are taken from you, when the courts kind of punish you for making this decision or punishes you for being a slightly better, higher earner, then nobody's there with information. Nobody's there with context. No one's there to help them. And I believe, not feel, I know, understand, believe, and I have evidence to show that men are left alone when they don't succeed in this endeavor. And that is the void that I feel, because I can tell you, hey, men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns. Men are thinking about, they have no way out. Men are losing big time, and we're losing a fraction of men due to manipulation, due to people trying to, you know, they may be hurt. A woman might be hurt in a marriage, or she might feel that she's not being appreciated. And then she throws a grenade in the room. What happens then?
What do you guys think so far? Chyna?
Yeah, I'm down, man. I'm down. FFC's man. He's a simp.
Yeah. Okay.
See, that's where I come in. I get to show you what happens when the grenade is there. And I also encourage you, you're not alone in this. A lot of people come to my content and they find out, oh, you too? See, before, as I said, 70 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, there was nobody presenting this side of the argument.
This side, I see what you're saying.
This right here.
Got
Nobody, they just left men alone and they said, well, you must not have been hitting it right, or you must not have loved her right, or you must have abused the kids. That's what she said. She said that you were, and nobody came to this position. So listen, there was a void open and I ran right through the
so
hole.
when you talk about leverage,
okay, we keep going.
Break down what you mean by leverage. Are you talking about in a marriage before you get married? Are you talking about a prenup? You're talking about a set of rules, guidelines. What's this leverage you're referring to?
Well, a lot of men, a lot of men are looking to be loved, right? So a lot of men, the transaction is always men give, women receive. So in this instance, once men do a lot of giving, they may sacrifice, they may risk things, but they're risking the little things that they have. They don't know what they're going to lose in the future, right? So,
and that's 100%. That's one of the things about our current society is we don't teach men how much they're worth and how much they can lose.
Oh, by that point, they will probably avoid a prenup. They might say, I don't need a prenup. I don't have anything. Right. And so he'll get married. He'll build some things. Once the commitment is made and once the investment is made, then he has something. So then when they say, well, you better love her right, you better screw her right, you better appreciate her right. And he says, well, it's still not working. She's not happy. Well, then he knows he can measure how much he's going to lose because he now has leverage, but the leverage is attached to a marital contract. And then at that point, he could say, well, I don't want to lose my 2 or 3 kids. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose my car. He knows then. And also, he has no protection. He didn't get a prenup because
and that's where the
leverage.
term cheaper to keeper comes from. That's where that term, guys, my wife's a blah, but it's cheaper to keep her, meaning that there are men that are unhappy in their marriages, but they know that they're going to get their balls burned if they get divorced. You know what I'm saying?
And most men stay because of the kids.
Yep. That was that part. I'm gonna go to there's 2 more quick parts, and then we can do a quick discussion, and then I can let you all go. This one. So remember, this girl was a professional, married, a nurse, and then she went on OnlyFans, and she makes all this money, and her husband supports her being on OnlyFans.
What a simp.
And she probably gets him with the old strap on. No, okay.
And she has like 2-3 kids too.
We've both been able to be comfortable in our intimacy.
Yeah. What we call that is anecdotal evidence, right? And so she's probably trying to support her argument based on her experiences as opposed to me. I'm more general. I can't speak to her. I can't speak for him. I can only speak generally. And some people try to speak specifically about things. I just go in general this, and then this gentleman might have a different position. She might be able to say, hey, based on my experience, but that doesn't help anybody because they are only using their personal experience.
Yeah, I would say it's less common for women to be sitting around thinking about. I mean, in my opinion, I've heard it less. And It's not like something that,
But back to the fact that you've coached women for 20 freaking years. You've been around thousands of women. Is there some sort of like?
What were the age groups of that?
We're talking about.
Do you have a?
I was like, who is talking?
Sorry,
I was like, who is it? Where this is?
Okay.
Right,
So
listen. Can I say? Listen to how Hafiz and all these people look. Greg Adams is old enough to be Hafiz's dad, and this girl's dad too. Listen to how they treat him compared to how they treat the white boy and the white girl.
And also,
it's
I chose
disrespectful.
I chose this because remember, one of the key tenets of MGTOW, don't let people shame you. And this girl has been listening to Greg Adams talk about his stuff, and she uses the age-old, well, you have a daughter, and blah, blah, and just tries to get all emotional on him. So watch this.
Do you have any children, daughter, son?
I do. I have a daughter and a son.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to them.
Okay.
My son's probably watching.
How old, coach?
And she's 21 years old, this girl, and she can't read super chats for nothing. All right.
They're teenagers now, 16 and 15, back to back. Yeah.
So I do have a question. What would be kind of the language you would speak to your daughter about these things? How old is she?
16.
16.
Yep.
So like she's getting into like the boy age and all that stuff. Kind of. Look at that.
He's
smile.
like, don't mention
He's
it.
Like, oh no. But what would be like? How do you give advice to somebody who is your daughter, knowing the good and the bad, and knowing that you do want her to get married and find a high value man? How is that language transferred to someone like that?
You see what kind of loaded question that is? Watch Coach Greg Adams right here.
Well, see, I don't speak to that age group in terms of giving my content. So I wouldn't sit a group of young women.
But there are people who are that age receiving the content.
They're men, young men. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk to a group of women my daughter's age and have this conversation, especially as direct. So this personal conversation about my daughter is not relative to who I send out to my audience. So I don't target her. I don't target people in her age group. I don't target that. Now, if we have personal discussions about what she should look out for and what I'm looking out for her best interest, I'm hoping that she doesn't come in the spirit of rebellion, which typically is of women that age, because I've coached them. I know this to be true. If she does operate in the spirit of rebellion, as any other Disney movie that you could see, the daughter rebelled against the king father. And it's actually supported in society. I try to have as minimal a conversations as I can with this, because if I send a certain approach to this age group, they're going to rebel. They're going to believe that I don't know what I'm talking about, X, Y, and Z. So I've seen enough Ariel, I've seen enough Jasmine to know that if you push these things in this way to young women, especially young women that are your daughters, it's not going to be received well.
So how do you feel?
So what he's saying is anything, especially in the United States, whatever you tell your daughter not to do, she's gonna go do it.
I agree.
You know,
I
yeah,
agree. That's how I guide. I don't control. So like I
yeah.
will try and guide my daughter with like my perspective and my lived experience. But if you try and hit them with the rod, they're gonna be like, do what I want. I'm 16.
You got it. You got it.
Rebellious
Feel
by
it's
nature.
like
I don't
Let me keep going.
feel anything.
okay, you don't feel anything. That's
Yeah.
fine. What would be your take if your daughter gets married and he's a high value man and he's cheating on her, and she?
You see where she went?
Yeah,
You just
always.
automatically assume the negative. It's awful. It's awful. Well, what if he doesn't cheat? Most
Negative.
men don't cheat. And I'm just so tired of women just automatic, like being under male authority is just seen as a bad thing for especially with young women. I'm gonna keep it going.
He comes to you in a sense like, Dad, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on. Like, what do I do?
Well, as I said, I can offer her some fatherly advice in the situation.
Can you give us an example?
No, because what tends to happen is people use this particular argument to try to see if I can change my position.
No, it's not even a change in position.
I know,
It's
but
just-
see,
it's
this is
curiosity.
a very, I know
Because
it's
there's a lot
curious.
of men who are.
See, in China, that's gonna be you, dude. They're gonna be like, so China, tell me a specific, because they're gonna try to catch you, bro.
Chachi, yeah. I'll stay to my resolve. They won't catch me out, bro. I'll keep.
Because I'm
In China, there was one time where I saw you at some crazy thing in like at 12:05 p.m. at this one thing, and it looked like you were talking to this one girl.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Like Shaggy, it wasn't me.
Go ahead.
It wasn't me. I just said no.
Y'all sound the same. My bad.
Whenever they say something, you're just like, yo, it wasn't me. It wasn't
But
me. That's it.
I
It
will
wasn't
say
me.
this, that with like the information that's out there is that like in what I've received in the sense of what her question was that like she was saying like, oh, if she's got a high value man, supposedly all the women are all having sex with those percentage of men, right? So it's a choice for him to not cheat, but we're told that he's like most likely to cheat. On a lot of these other platforms, that's the narrative that's being pushed, and if we choose to go into them relationships with them men, then we should accept it. That's on most of the platforms that I've been on. That's the narrative.
You accept that it could happen, yes. And what Greg Adams, because he says a little bit fast, says there's one more spot I want to go to, but I'll sum up the rest of it. He says, look, women, you can't tell them nothing. So he said that he would just be there for his daughter when she goes through the negative experiences, and because women have to come to you for help. Men we're more likely to take advice on the front end, but women will have to be in crisis and get burned first before, even with their parents. And that's exactly what he says. He says, I would just have to be there for her when it all fell apart. That's it. Because before that, she's not going to hear anything her dad says.
I think that's how most parenting goes. Like after they get to a certain age, it's like
there's one last spot, and then we can close out. Let me go to 136. You get to see the OnlyFans girl get triggered. Okay.
Just make sure production room that we got the audio and good to go. But I think this is the clip that I wanted to discuss with Coach about what's basically going on with social media today and what you would call the young men versus young women social media disparity. Can we play this clip?
Yes.
Group, young girls develop, they're going to get a lot of attention. Young boys are simply not. He's going to witness his female counterparts on TikTok, 10,000 followers, 20,000, 30,000, million followers. What does that do to the dynamics and the hierarchy on campus? Can he get this girl now? He has no chance, and he's going to grow up with them through high school believing I have no chance at women. The self-esteem of this kid is going to get killed. The only thing he can reach out now to are Instagram thoughts and pornography. At a certain age.
Yeah. So
what do you guys think? Chyna, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I was having a discussion with someone that came in my live and we were talking about yesterday about a woman that that page 3 woman that was with the footballer and that was with the other guy, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be havoc on the kids.
Yeah. Let me get back to it.
Interesting conversation here. Okay. And this will have a so basically, if I can sum up what you're saying, 21-year-old guy, 21-year-old girl. 21, maybe you're, a senior in college, maybe you've been working for a couple of years as a guy. 21-year-old female, same exact situation. Maybe you're a senior in college, maybe you're been working for a couple of years. The only difference is, as a woman, you can kind of get a lot of eyeballs out there on the social media platforms. Like it's taken me hard work to get to where I'm at right now. And a girl does the exact same thing. All she has to do is put some bikini pictures out there. Much easier for a woman. Much easier for a woman. And you're basically saying it for a 21-year-old, comparing himself, trying to get another 21-year-old female. Oh, man, life is going to be tough for you, brother.
It's a little bit tougher than when I grew up in the olden days, in a time where a woman probably wouldn't get maybe 3 men in their entire city or county or neighborhood or school. If that, she might go to the rival high school potentially and get some attention. Now, it's a little bit more vast. There's a lot more choice for
global
her.
Sexual marketplace.
And here's the funny thing. My young lady here, Natalia, she mentioned this earlier because she's in the dating minefield. She says, she has a lot of options. I get a lot of offers.
Both ways too.
She's beautiful.
And she should. And what we have to understand is, as young men, this is where I position myself as young men. Typically, 70% of men tend to be invisible to the world until they, as you said, put in 20 years worth of work. And then it's easy for you to hop on social media with the Bugatti and the Lamborghini, and you handsome and you got your beard in and you got all of that stuff. Oh, you can jump on now and you can get a lot of attention. But
because what do they always say?
I'm Hafiz. God will give you a woman. I'm a moron.
Well, yeah, we always say that men have to build their value. Women are born with it. So that's pretty much what he's saying.
But that's a waiting game that men at this particular point, I'm going to say, based on the pornography, I can put a poll in the whole band. It's a reality of the situation. And until the porn industry becomes bankrupt, my opinion is going to be true.
Well, what about athletes now? So male athletes.
You guys ready for this? Listen to her argument. Now, this lady, once again, is a mother of 3, that was a nurse and quit to be on OnlyFans.
Far more attention. They get far more attention than women. And that's another thing off their, what God grace gave them is their athletic abilities.
It's the same thing.
And it's the same thing. And I also have to ask, your Instagram thought comment. Obviously, I'm on Instagram. I post bikini.
She's all upset. Just watch
TikTok.
And TikTok thought, whatever it is. Am I Instagram TikTok thought to you? I mean, am I the person you're just, when you say that, am I the category? Or is
that's how you make your money, right? That's how you butter your bread.
He says, yes, you are.
It's a thought to you.
Hold on, let me come back. Let me come back and answer something here. When we talk about athletes and male athletes, I actually addressed this, and I addressed it this morning.
Far more.
What male athletes tend to fall into the same category as female people who get attention. However,
I think they're way upper echelon.
Watch this. What percentage of men are successful female athletes versus
successful female?
I'm sorry, successful male athletes. Sorry. What percentage of let me say this again.
He slipped up there.
Another can of worms here.
Let me say it again. What percentage?
I'm the best WNBA player out there.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
I knew it.
Let me say it
I'm
again.
the worst NBA player.
What percentage of males are successful male athletes? Very small.
0.0001%.
Very small. Now, what percentage of young girls jumped on TikTok and went on there and got 100,000?
What do you consider successful though? Because there's a lot of people that have millions of followers, and I know some of these girls, they don't make nothing. Like that's not that's
the trap. Well,
I don't even have that much followers. They would never think I make.
But that is the trap that I'm trying to make you aware. See, we showed a 20-second clip, and you're trying to jump all of this, and you're saying, "What about this and what about that?"
Well, you said Instagram thoughts. You said TikTok thoughts.
But that doesn't mean you're making.
She hates that word. There's like 15 more seconds.
Money. That doesn't mean you're making money. You could just be getting attention. And
is that a problem if a woman gets attention? Men's get attention from various things. Was that a problem?
Very small percentage of men get attention in comparison. I mean, this is not even an argument. I mean, listen, you could probably agree.
No, I would agree.
This
is
absolutely agree. The normal average woman can get way more attention than a male, normal average male, which puts the percentages at, if we just want to be general, 70% of the men are consuming
Mm-hmm.
and paying attention to a majority of women, as opposed to the opposite.
Yeah.
When it comes to women on social media, they are producers more than they are consumers. And if they do consume, they might be consuming a makeup channel. They might be consuming something else. They're not consuming the vast majority of male athletes that have even succeeded, because even those guys have to jump through hoops and hurdles when he jumps in his DM. That woman probably would get more attention if she made a video and said, these basketball players are in my DMs, as opposed to her even getting married to that guy today. That's where the problem
Coach, let me hone in.
Okay. I recommend Coach Greg Adams' content because he preaches his version of MGTOW called the free agent lifestyle. He coached women's basketball at the college level for 15 years. He was married and he had a brutal divorce, and he just tells guys, look, live life. It's your destiny. Live life on your terms. Smash women, and that's it. So anyway, we're at the 2 hour and 14-minute mark. I'm going to start backwards with final thoughts. I'll start with AJ. Hey, AJ, you still there?
Yeah. So sorry that I came in kind of late, but
give me a quick 2-minute last thoughts and plug your
yeah,
socials.
yeah.
Again.
People try and shame MGTOW guys, and I mean, the red pill thing is still kind of unknown, but they've had news articles and all this stuff on MGTOW, right? I think maybe it's the acronym. I don't know, but they were saying that MGTOW is dangerous and it's a TEROIST group, and that is misogynist and all this other stuff. But you would think, just like the women who hate on the Passport Bros, if it's a bunch of guys that you don't like saying that they're not going to deal with you anymore, why are you going to call them bad? Are they doing you a favor? If a bunch of dudes say that they're MGTOW and they're not going to deal with women anymore, what are women upset about? There's tons of channels of women and TikTok saying MGTOW guys are all insult blank, right? And yes, there are some young guys who've never dealt with women who have no choice. But remember, MGTOW is a choice. It's men choosing to go their own way. There's a bunch of guys that have the choice to deal with women but don't, and somehow they're still the shaming for it. I think all men ages 18 to 35 should be MGTOW. Really, you should just focus on getting your money game up. You know what I'm saying? Traveling, doing things, smash every now and then if you want, but keep to yourself, keep your head down, and move ahead in life. And don't let anyone ever shame you for anything. Just like I always say, I made a video about this, doing the right thing. I had a lot of negative comments. For instance, so if I was with a girl and we were getting it in, and then she lied about being on birth control, got pregnant, and then chose to have a baby, all she's getting from me is direct deposit. She can't shame me into being a father. She can't. Now, I feel no shame at all anymore. I control my life, right? But what about the kid? What about, it's always that, but what about stuff? And that's the tenets of MGTOW, is saying, look, I'm going to take care of my destiny. Whereas the red pill is still like, maybe you want to have a more traditional relationship, marriage, blah, blah, blah. But MGTOW is that one step further. And it's crazy that like, it's not more popular there in the UK, because the UK is way more like about simp culture than here in the United States. So anyways. Oh, and then my channel's AJ's Rants Reactions, check me out, like and subscribe, Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Okay. And then Barracuda?
Well, it's something he said, they shame men to make them become something they're not, which I'm used to in my life. Certain people that were close to me tried to make me become a statistic, but I overcame that and proved them wrong. So it's like shame to make you become something you're not, because you either become something to consume or you're cast out. And that's what happens to MGTOW. Instead of trying to understand it, a lot of people see going their own way. So that means, women cannot consume these guys. Let's go ahead and throw them under the bus so they're under stress. They either give and then eventually become something to consume, or we can cast them out so they're stressed out and they'll just become something of the past. It's a brilliant plan. And I'll say this for the ladies to fight this, right? I've noticed during these videos, the women being rebellious by nature, negative by nature, neuroticism, higher in them than men, and as faithful as their options, right? So ladies who view no, meaning yes, make sure the yes is worth it. You understand? And as far as neuroticism, have good faith when it comes to men. Otherwise, you will have movements like these, which are rightfully so, as those ladies explained in that men going their own way video. And also, humans are as faithful as their own options. So, ladies, you got a lot of sexual options. It's best to know your nature and limit your consumption so you can balance yourself before you become insatiable. Otherwise, you'll be stuck to being exposed to too much and a loss of eligible men. That's all.
Okay. And then plug your socials again.
Oh, King Betacuda on Instagram and YouTube, King Betacuda or the Cerebral Inquirer. So definitely follow me.
Okay. Naomi, any last thoughts?
My last thoughts is I'm probably gonna plug this to my son when he gets to 18. Well, because what I think it was AJ that was saying that that they should, between the ages of 18 and 35, he should be focused on those things, like as a mother, and in hindsight, seeing my relationship when I was with his dad, and his dad was that age. I met him when he was 20 and I was 18, so it was like we were in that age bracket. If men focused on these kind of things, on self, and not trying to please women at that such a young age when they don't even know themselves, let alone know how to be a partner, or a woman be a partner to them either. So yeah, I will be doing more research, because obviously I don't, this is my first expose to it. So, but yeah, I can't see it being a bad thing if it works, and if it helps a group of men to be not used, then why not?
Okay. And then at the end, Chyna, the Mandem's voice. Give me what you got. Free flow. Go for it.
My name is Chyna. I'm the man of voice. And yeah, man, I think initially when I first heard about MGTOW, I had the wrong impression of it. I've had, gone through 2 hours, and we've been able to see what the definition of MGTOW and what it really means, and how it benefits men, and actually how it can benefit society when you have men actually going away and working on a purpose. I think I think it also for women have to understand that men, we can survive without you, and ultimately men built the current world that we had, and that was doing MGTOW already. When men were working, in the mines, when men were building the structures and stuff, that is MGTOW. I think able to see how Hafiz and some people that started off in the Red Bull space, that probably started off more, because I've seen Hafiz when posting up before, and I don't agree with him. I think it's good to see Coach, or what Greg Adams is talking about, and also Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked what he was saying, and the other, is it Lex? What was the last guy? What was the other guy?
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis. I'm literally gonna binge on Tom Leykis and Patrice O'Neill when I get off.
There's so much Tom Leykis stuff. Man, this guy, man, he's been around since the 90s, guys. Just look, guys. He shares so much content, and once you start hearing it, and he was on the national public radio here in the States. He was prime time #1 radio show host in the United States. I don't know how, because he was saying I'm surprised he didn't get canceled, but yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I come off here, I'm gonna go take in some of that content. I think yeah, I just no, it was good to come on this platform, and good to be with other people. And yeah, I'm kind of Doug, we're gonna get when I come off here, we need to have a little chat anyway. And yeah, man, my name is Chyna, the Mandem Voice. Make sure you check out my YouTube page. My name is Chyna. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Check me out on Instagram. My name is Chyna. On TikTok, my name is Chyna. Basically everything. My name is Chyna, the Mandem's Voice. And yeah, Megto. Do I think Megto's too? No, I think Megto is needed. It's needed because without the acronym, men have been going their own way anyway. And it's by men going their own way that we've created and we've built some of the best things that contribute to society. I understand it can be a status and a lifestyle. It can be both. I can understand that being Megto doesn't mean you're on your monk or you're on your you know what I mean. You're not trying to become a pastor or reverend or anything. But Megto can literally be what I reckon I've been Megto before. I just never understood it was Megto. Whenever you break up with a girl, you're like, "Fuck bitches, I'm going to do my show, get my money." That's Megto. every time that's Megto. You don't even know it was Megto. You know what I mean? Because you go over and then you go and do what you got to do, and then when you're ready, you come back. So I think attaching the word incels and trying to create an image of men that can't get any women or they're disgruntled or they're hurt, I think that's the wrong way to lead. But it's important that we have conversations like this and people can break it down in that. You've broken down in a very educational way, in a very, with bullet points, PowerPoint presentations, with videos, and then obviously we're bringing in guests to have a discussion for us to learn about it. So yeah, man, thank you, bro. It's definitely been good, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, the PowerPoint was a good thing. Like,
I know, man, I'm bringing out PowerPoint.
About it, then when you visually see something, you consume it easier, don't you? So
yeah, I'm kind of old school like that. I had to put my policy hat on. And thank you everyone for being here. Caddyshack Studios thanks Naomi for being the only female on the chat. He says good on you.
Thank you.
I've been
she loved it. She was in what's this, a foursome, fivesome, right in the middle.
No.
You told me you like to write
now the videos are gonna get flagged.
Okay, so that's fiction. I'm good at fiction. Okay, so mine is freedom to speak about it. I don't actively do what I write in my book. Okay? I'm gonna put that disclaimer out into the universe from now. Okay.
Doug.
But I'm DougMPA. This is my channel. I cover men, women's topics, and policy topics. Those don't get a lot of hits, but it's one of my favorite things to cover. I just want people to have a understanding of what MGTOW is, and I want to be able to paint the picture of the situation in the United States, especially in different parts of the world. I want to do more lives like this. You can catch me. I moderate for King Riches, for just Burly Things, and for Auntie Jenny, and I really like the community those over there. I'm glad to be a part of it, and I try to contribute how I can. Thank you everyone for being here, and let's try and do this again, okay?
Hey Doug, Doug, add us in the title, innit? So I get it. At me, mention me in the title.
I will.
And me.
Right, cool.
I'll add everyone.
Hey Doug.
Yo.
One last thing. This is great information. I think this should be instilled into boys of comprehension age, young as even before their teens, because this is essential information. So great job.
My son's already asking me about using them for money. He was like,
exactly. You should teach him what I recommend. Not
he already was bringing up Andrew Tate. He had to draw this thing at school, and he was like, "Well, yeah,
I'm gonna draw Andrew Tate."
He put a weight in his hand, and he was like, "Yeah, because top G's don't have hair."
I recommend referring him to male content that's concrete, and then that will do great justice, because there's only so much that we can do, but professionals, Coach Greg Adams, Patrice O'Neal, Tom Leykis, Kevin Samuels content, Dennis Sperling, all of them.
I think
refer him to
the safest introduction for him would be Kevin Samuels.
No, but he swears a lot. He's only 10. My son's only 10. He's a bit young yet.
All right.
I say that, and then he's on his gaming, probably hearing.
I know. Oh yeah. All right, you guys. It was good having you, and
Bye, everyone.
see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.